Talk Radio.
Guys, James, no, I'm about to do my show, so guys, take the meeting outside. Thank you.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. It's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light.
No, we don't want to start the show like that. That's not appropriate. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. No, we don't want to start the show like that. This is how we want to start the show, dear listener. Here we go. Here we go. There's me having you. Computer, play. Come on. You going to play? No, why? Here we go. This is it. We're in. Just take a second for it to warm up. Here we go. There's a voice keeps on calling me down the road. That's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. Where new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you want... Oh, hang on a minute. I don't recognise this bit. That's hobo style. Maybe... There's the instrumental. Okay, it's fine. 0344 499 1000. Late nights with Iain Lee. Make the most of it while it's here. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. There's a world that's waiting to unfold, a brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. 0344 499 1000. That's what the world has been crying out for, guys. That's what they've wanted, and that's what they've got. Thank you to James Whale and Ash. Back tomorrow. I think I've got no idea what day it is. Let's say Wednesday, because it's probably close to it. They'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock, like they always is. A busy show this evening, guys. And when I say busy, I mean, I don't know. Hey, here comes a pint of water. We're going to be playing the pint of water challenge later on, so make sure you got a pint of water. We'll do that later. That'll be a lot of fun. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. I have to say that in my head all day, I have had what the Germans call the Eckewurm, the earworm. It's a German concept. You look it up. The Echivium, the earworm. And I cannot get it out of my head. And, saying that, it's gone now. It's, what was, all day. Just that little bit on repeat, on a loop. You know, and this is absolutely true. And I'm not making light of this, you know, I wouldn't make light of this. People have killed themselves because they've had an earworm going around in their head. It drives you nuts. Honestly, it's a German phrase. It drives them absolutely nuts. First of all, I don't know what that song is. I know it's Herb Alpert, who is a recurring theme on this show. I don't know what that song is. But, tonight, dear listener, your earworms, please. What on earth is going around in your head and you just can't get rid of it? If you didn't have an earworm, I can assure you that when you switch your radio off tonight to go to bed, you'll be lying down, getting ready to snooze, just getting to the edge of sleep. And then you'll hear... Yeah, that. And here's another thing, right? The topics are just flowing out of me like gold. By the way, tomorrow I'm bringing in my kids' record player. I'm going to bring in all my Herb Alpert records, and that's going to be the beds for tomorrow's show. Remind me to do that. Send me a text tomorrow, please, Catherine. No, actually, don't, because I don't want you to have my number. If you send Ed a text or anybody else who works here, they will then forward it on to me. Thank you. Just one. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, you meant that. Okay. And I had a good topic then, and that was it. Let me write it down before I get... things that you're good at that you don't get recognition for. That's a great one. Things that you're good at that you don't get recognition for. Because I genuinely, I am the best whistler I know. By a country mile. I am the best whistler I know. I'm brilliant at whistling tunes. And also, when I go to pop concerts, so we went to the Beach Boys, you know, I go to a lot of concerts, right? And I'll sit back, and after like a hit, not you know, good, after a hit like Fun, right? Or Surfing USA, or a big one of the big ones, it won't just be applause and cheers. I've never cheered. Who cheers? Who cheers at concerts? Yeah, but you're at a concert, you hear people go, yay! What does that mean? No, it's none of that. Hey! No, what was that? You cheering on a punch-up? You cheering on a bare-knuckle fight at the back room of an East End pub? Hey! No! Applaud. But after a big hit, like Fun, or Surfing Safari, or whatever, you'll hear people whistling. You'll hear the audience whistling. And I always hold back my whistle. Because I let the amateurs have their whistle. And then they finish. I think, right, is that the best you got? Give it that. And here's the thing. I've bought bootleg recordings of concerts I've been at, right? The other whistles you can't hear. My whistles come through loud and clear. There's another thing. Live albums that you're on. That's a long shot. That's a long shot. But if you're on a live album, or if you could be seen at Glastonbury, one of those pop videos, you know, the concerts there. 0344. I should give out the phone number, shouldn't I? I'm throwing out all these golden topics. I should give out the phone number. 0344 499 1000. So far we've got. What's your earworm? Things that you're good at that you don't get recognition for, live albums that you're on, and we'll put this out as a challenge, because I know you guys like a competition. There's a prize of £1 million and a brand new car. Can anybody whistle better than me? And if you can, £1 million, brand new car. I should just say, for legal reasons, I am the judge. Okay? With that in mind, the phone lines are open. You can, of course, call in about any old rubbish. You know that. 0344 499 1000. Let's go to the first cab off the rank, and that cab driver's name is Paul.
Good evening, Ian.
Hey, Bob. Help! Who needs to say all of the letters in a phrase? As long as the meaning is. Hey, mate!
Help!
Hey!
Yeah, my water tub just collapsed.
You what?
My water tub.
Is that a euphemism?
No, not at all. No, I've lit a fire. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well, my wife wanted the water out in the garden.
Yes.
The water tub just melted.
Yes. Is the water tub made of plastic?
Yeah.
Right. Is the fire near the water tub?
Yep.
Oops. I think I know what you did wrong there, Paul.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, what I want to talk about?
It's a very trendy thing. It's a very trendy thing now to go and sit in the garden with a fire. We've got this thing. It's like this metal sort of bowl on a metal stand, and you put logs on it, and you light a fire. And what's that all about? When did that become a thing in the garden? What are you talking about? It's nuts. If you need a fire in the garden, then it's too cold to be in the garden, and you should be indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dog's going nuts.
Yeah. Oh, whoa, hey, whoa, hang on.
What's occurring?
What's occurring? My computer's gone crazy. That's what's occurring.
Okay. I wanted to talk to you about Islington.
Islington. Very trendy part of London, for those who don't know.
Is it?
Yeah, Islington, very trendy, yes.
Right, okay. Well, I met a bloke called Islington Billy, and he was quite a nice man.
Islington Billy.
Yeah.
And what does Islington Billy do?
Drank a lot.
He what?
But it was nice.
He's
nice
a blood clot.
Pardon?
What did you say?
He drinks a lot.
He drinks a lot. Okay. I think so. Okay. Right.
He's a nice man.
Okay.
But
Islington Billy.
Yeah. When I drove up, I haven't been to London for probably 20 years.
Well, a lot has changed since then.
Yeah, I know.
A lot has changed since then in the last 20 years. Whoa, it's a different place. They've knocked down all the bridges, and they've got underwater tunnels now that you walk through, but they're see-through, so you can see all the fish and the dolphins living in the River Thames. It's amazing.
Yeah. But I just drove up St Paul's Road, or down it, or whatever you call it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was like, Life on Mars.
The song or the TV show?
No, the TV show.
Yes, I do. I know both.
Yeah.
I should have said. I know both.
It was like that. It was like I was entering.
What, overrated?
No, it was like I was in another planet.
Wow. Well, no, hang on. Life on Mars isn't set on another planet. It's set on this planet, planet Earth. Are you thinking of The Martian, where he does a poo and grows a potato?
No.
Okay.
How that bloke is experiencing different things.
Are we going back to Islington Billy at any point in this conversation, or is that a MacGuffin?
Are you going to cut me off?
It's getting close to it.
Okay. Well, what?
Yeah, a lot closer than I thought. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
That's it! That's it! That's it! Oh, no! It's on a loop! It's just a loop! I always get confused by Herb Alpert. I always think it should be Herb Albert. And that sounds like, Trumpton, isn't it? It's Trumpton. Yeah. What was this the theme tune to? This was, I don't want to do that kind of, but this, what was, it was, Is Herb Alpert ever coming on the show? Possibly. Oh, you know who might be coming into the studio one day? 2 words. Dan Aykroyd. That's right, we might be getting Dan Aykroyd in this studio, guys. He's here to sell his brand of vodka. That's what he's here to sell. But I will ask why the Blues Brothers 2000 was so crap. Dan Aykroyd, ladies and gentlemen. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. It really is an action-packed show this evening. And if you used to listen and you stopped listening, I've remembered how to do radio shows again. So if you could get that message to those people who have stopped listening and bring them back on board, that would be wonderful. You can call in about anything, but here's the things that we got so far. Things that you're good at that you don't get the recognition you deserve for. Earworms. Are you on a live album? Can anyone whistle better than me? There's £1 million and a car up for grabs. Oh, and songs. And I'm going to try... Oh, he's finished. That was disappointing. Yeah, something that the last caller was talking about, and I don't know what. Shouty songs, songs where they shout in, like what's that one that goes to rayu rayu raye? What song is that? Is that a song? Hang on a second. Simon will know. Good evening, Simon.
Hello there, Ian. How are you doing?
What song goes to rayu rayu raye?
It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm a DJ, and I have actually...
Well, suppose now, Simon, if I came up to you at a wedding and said, all right, mate, if you got the one that goes to have you got it?
Well, I'm not... Ooh, I'm not sure.
You stuck-up winker. You posh git, and not you.
I'll tell you just to go away.
Okay, well, no, fair enough. That's yes.
So, a couple of things. Because I'm a DJ.
Yes.
I am one of these people that actually has chronic earworm.
Chronic earworm. Wow.
Chronic earworm. So every single day, pretty much for the last 10 years, there's been something going around in my head.
Yeah.
And but because I'm a DJ, it always changes it up. So it changes different. So it's not too bad.
Yes. Okay.
At the minute, it's At the minute, it's down, down, ba down, 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 down.
You were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar. Can we just? I've just got another topic. They're literally pouring out of me today. Songs where they add an extra syllable to a word. Cocktail. Cocktail. It's cocktails. 2 syllables. He's got a third syllable in there. And also, songs where they, the big hit by T-Rex, right? You see it written down. You go, oh, there's a song called Metal Guru. You go, what? Yeah, the song Metal Guru. There's no such song. Yeah, there is T-Rex. Oh, you mean Metal Guru. That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is pretty strange.
Here we go. Syllables. It's literally pouring out of me. Syllables and Metal Guru. I'll work on Metal Guru. I'll turn that into a topic. That's how good I am, dear listener. 0344 499 1000. Simon, so that one is going through your head at the moment?
All the time. So that one has been like that for the last sort of week or so. Before that, it was a more of a modern twist. It was down. Do you know that one?
I don't know that one. Who's that?
Uptown Funky What?
Uptown Funky What? Says Uptown Funky What? That's Bruno Mars, isn't it? Fun Size Mars, as Kath calls him. We before the show this evening, we were really bored, right? And I said, right, there's nothing on telly. We got the internet at our disposal. We can watch anything, right? So we of course watched some cat videos because they're funny, it's cute. And then we watched some dog videos. They weren't as good. And then I remembered I'd started the other day, but after about a minute, I got distracted. There's a 25-minute documentary from about 1960s, black and white, about Paul Anka called Lonely Boy. It's on YouTube. It's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And, And, I said, who does it? Because he's tiny and he's got like sort of big bouffant hair. And I said, who does he? He reminds me of someone. And Kath went, yeah, it's Fun Size Mars. He was the 50s equivalent of Bruno Mars. And here's the thing, right? And I know he wrote the English lyrics for My Way, and all, he matured into a great artist. Yeah. When he started, and he was a teen idol, and girls were screaming and wetting themselves, seeing him. His songs were rubbish.
But he's very horny. Bruno Mars, every single song that he makes is just about him wanting to have sex.
Bruno Mars? Are you talking about Bruno Mars?
Yeah.
I was talking about Paul Anka. But Brooks, I don't know. No, that's fine. I don't know a lot of Bruno Mars. It's all about him wanting to have it off, is it?
Pretty much every single song. It's just he's very, very horny.
Imagine going into the studio after he's recorded a whole album. Oh, dearie me! You'd want marigolds and wet wipes, wouldn't you?
The song you're on about, is it not Swords of a Thousand Men?
To-ra-you-ra-you-ra-yay, over the hills with the swords of 1,000 men. But yes, shouty songs.
I challenge you to a whistle off.
You're up for the £1 million in a car, are you?
Yeah, well, if it's available. I actually think I may be the best whistler in the world.
Well, mate, I'm gonna crush your dreams live on the radio, and I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to do that. Okay.
I'm going to go in with a bit of an older twist. So we're going to go something like. Like a little bit of a twist on the whistle there.
It was, well, first of all, it sounded awful. Secondly, what tune was it supposed to be?
On the what's it called?
The cornetto tune
by Sting, on the streets of Marley.
The streets of Barley, the streets of Bob Marley. You ain't got a clue. It's delirious.
You put me on the spot, man. But
here we go. Here's the thing. Here we go. Here's the tiebreaker. Can you whistle and hum at the same time?
Yep.
Oh.
No, I can't actually.
There we go. That should go view. That's not. There we go. I think what you're trying to do is this. I think I won that one, Simon. That was embarrassing for you, mate. I'm going to let you go. Simon. That was embarrassing. You've upset yourself. Go to bed. Have a little cry. Throw the radio across the floor. Have a little cry. Have a furious tug because you have disappointed yourself and your family. Andy!
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Andy!
Right, one song that's going through my head constantly, and it's because my boys just discovered Kiss. It's Crazy, Crazy Night.
Oh, mate, you know Kiss are playing next week.
Oh, God, no, really?
Yeah, really. They're because I think they're playing in London at the O2 on, I think it's Wednesday, and they're also, whereabouts are you based?
Leicester.
So they're playing Birmingham.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was really tempted to take the boys, but when they first announced it, I thought it was a school night, but of course it's half term. Yeah. And then I think my wife might be taking them away. And then, if I'm completely honest, after what happened last week, I'm not going to take them. You know, and I know that's probably what happened a couple of days ago. And I know that's probably the wrong attitude to have, but I'm just going to, any plans I may have had to take them have subsided, I think.
Oh, mate, it's, well, yeah, I mean, I emailed you today about coming on a podcast, and that was kind of like one of the things that, I mentioned about is just how heavy the events in Manchester.
Oh, you sent me that really long email, and I sent you a very, very short email in reply because I was in Costa and I was I'm such a. Here's the thing, Andy. I'm so bad at replying emails, and I've asked people to email me. I've kind of said, look, the station aren't doing any publicity for the show. If you have an audience, if you write a blog, if you've got a podcast, if you've got a student radio show, anything, I'll come and do it. If you've got 10 people or more that are listening, I'll come and do it. You know, I'll go canvassing door to door to try and sell this show. And so of course I'm getting all these emails in. And then I thought, oh Christ, I better reply to them because I don't normally reply to emails. So I was going through them, but the email you sent me was I'm looking forward to us having a proper chat. Yes, we both share a lot of concerns about what's been going on, and we've got kids of similar ages and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he said, it's a shame that it's kind of come like that, but
yeah. It'll pass. It'll pass, Andy. That reticence to go to a big concert will pass. But I think it's only natural that as parents that we just kind of hold back a bit. And other people will have different attitudes. I'm sure there'll be loads of kids there, and that's wonderful, and they'll have a great night. It's just not right for me and my boys at the moment.
Exactly. Time's different for everyone.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
Exactly right. Anyway, yeah. So going back to the point.
There was a point.
Crazy Nights. My God, I used to love that song, but now I think in the car I've listened to it about 15 times.
It is a brilliant song. It's got some of. Let me get the lyrics up for Crazy Crazy Nights, because it's got some of the. Because Kiss in the 80s they don't really interest me, but Crazy Crazy Nights is people try to take my soul away, but I don't hear the rap that they all say. They try to tell us we don't belong, but that's all right. We're millions strong. This is my music. It makes me proud. These are my people, and this is my crowd. These are crazy, 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 crazy nights. These are crazy, 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 crazy nights. Sometimes days are so hard to survive, a million ways to bury you alive. The sun goes down like a bad, bad dream. You're wound up tight, gotta let off steam. They say they can break you again and again. If life is a radio, turn it up to 10. These are crazy, 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 crazy nights. 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 And they try to tell us we don't belong. Well, that's all right. We're a million strong. You are my people. You are my crowd. This is our music. We love it loud.
We love it loud.
Yeah! And nobody's going to change me, because that's who I am. These are crazy, 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 crazy nights. 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 Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. There we go.
Amazing, amazing.
And you're saying that's a bad thing. That's an earworm, Andy. Sort your life out, buddy.
I know. I was just picturing it being spoken in a northern accent.
There we go. He said, thank you very much indeed. Thank you. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Paul, Alan, stay there. Come to you after this.
The wild man of late night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There we go. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. It's Paul!
Hi, Ian.
Hello. I'm going to get some music in the background. Here we go. Let's get... Hang on. There we go. Hang on. Away you go, Paul. Well, away you go, sir. The Lonely Bull.
I'm worthy of an introduction, thank you.
You certainly are.
Okay, not the reason I phoned in for, but anyway, first of all, you were saying Crazy, Crazy, Crazy Nights by Kiss.
Yes.
Okay, makes me think. You look up quickly and play Def Leppard's song Let's Get Rocked.
Let's get... Well, hang on, how does that go?
Let's get rocked. Same as Crazy, Crazy Nights, isn't it?
Well, I've got a feeling that a lot of those guys were, I don't want to say ripping each other off for legal reasons, but I think they might have been ripping each other off.
Okay, I can give you another example quickly off the top of my head.
Yeah, go on.
Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit song. You look up and play it against Boston's song More Than a Feeling.
Yeah, it's the same. I've done that before. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
That's exactly the same.
Okay, Bobby Brown's song My Prerogative.
Yeah.
Just like a Prince song, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. What do you mean just like a Prince song?
It could be any Prince song that Bobby Brown's My Prerogative. It could be any Prince song. Let's Go Crazy, for example, by Prince.
Here we go. Welcome back. Can I just say welcome back, Chris? Chris stopped listening to the show about a month ago. He's back listening this evening. Spread the word, guys. If you were listening and you switched off, I had a little book on how to do radio, and I'd lost it. I found it. It was down the back of the sofa, and I have reread it. I've skimmed it this morning. I'll be rereading it properly this weekend. But, guys, I have remembered how to do radio again. Yes, Paul?
Can I finish by saying something quite serious? You know, you took your children to the Beach Boys the other night.
Yes.
Okay, right. Maybe these idiot terrorists have won, because I've got tickets, and I haven't told my son yet, but I've got tickets.
Ooh, go on.
I bought tickets to surprise my son for Guns N' Roses in London.
Guns N' effing Roses, as they used to to be called.
Yeah.
Where are they playing? They're playing at Wembley Stadium or something?
No, they're playing at what I call the Olympic Stadium,
Oh, okay. Oh, right, okay. So
the London, whatever.
Oh, yeah, all right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay, right. I bought 2 tickets because I bought my son a few years ago a little junior electric guitar, and I play guitar.
Beautiful.
And it was his birthday last week, and I got to spend a day with him,
Yeah.
And I got him presents and everything, but do you know what he enjoyed most of all?
Go on.
Was me teaching him how to play Paradise City by Guns N' Roses on the guitar.
Beautiful.
That's what he enjoyed most.
Of course he did. Good bit.
Not playing a computer game.
Bit of focus time with his dad. His dad sharing a bit of knowledge.
Okay,
beautiful.
So I bought 2 tickets, and I hadn't told him as a surprise to take him to Guns N' Roses. Yeah, the real Guns N' Roses. For him to see Flaming Slash.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay. Nobody has ever made a top hat look good apart from Slash.
He's right. He's right. Yes.
Okay.
I would say Lord Snooty as well. Lord Snooty wears a top hat.
People that wear top hats look like they've got big sticky out ears, don't they?
Yes.
Even if you haven't got big,
Yes.
Apart from Slash.
Yes.
Okay, but I have put those tickets up and sold them on eBay because I'm not taking my son to that Guns N' Roses gig just in case.
Can I chat to you for a second? And I'm not in any way questioning what you've done. When is the concert?
I think it's about July.
Okay.
Time.
And have you sold the tickets now?
Yes, and do you know what I'm going to do? Right, I'm going to keep the face value that I bought them for, but I've made triple the amount of money out of them, and I want to donate that money I've made in profit to a charity.
Well, good for you, and I'm sure there are many that you support.
And a charity that might go towards something like these poor people that have been blown up.
There are several charities that have been set up in Manchester to go towards helping those people, and that is very noble of you. Congratulations. My suggestion would have been to have waited for a little bit, because everything that has happened this week is still very, very fresh and is still very raw. From a practical note, if you'd have waited to a bit closer to the concert, you would have got more money, being, completely mercenary. And I know that wasn't the issue, but that you would have done.
Yes, I've just done it on impulse.
No, I know you have. And, your attitude might have changed as you got closer to the concert day, as memories fade and, fears subside significantly. But if you didn't feel safe taking your boy, then you've done exactly the right thing. Whatever you did would have been the right decision, Paul.
Maybe so. I don't know.
No, listen, I'm not saying that to throw doubt in your mind.
I just feel like these flipping idiots are flipping won now.
Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know what win means in this. I don't know the rules of engagement in this. I don't know what the argument or the battle is. I don't know if they've won.
I refuse to call them terrorists because it's like one single person. They're not a terrorist.
Hey,
they're just an idiot. They're not a terrorist.
Can I tell you the phrase, right? You know, there was that Mohammed, I can't remember his name, so I'm not going to say it in case I name the wrong person, but that guy that was executing people over in Syria, right? And he was nicknamed Jihadi John. I refuse to use that because that humanised him. And here's another phrase that I hate. And I wish the news agencies wouldn't use it. And I'll tell you why. Because it sounds romantic and it sounds daring and it sounds exciting.
Don't tell me you're going to say they're going to keep you up with the latest things of a story.
No. Lone wolf. When they refer to someone, it was a lone wolf. Well, that makes it sound, that's a romantic image. I'd like to be a lone wolf. I think a murdering idiot that goes around killing, that's not a lone wolf. Stop trying to make it sound like some hero from a movie.
Yeah.
Paul, listen, you've done what you felt is right for your kid, and that's all we ask of any parent. So,
I'm denying him seeing Slash live.
This time round you are. Who knows what's round the corner?
Maybe so. At least it's not Buckethead in Guns N' Roses.
Exactly, the fake Guns N' Roses. Paul, thank you very much indeed. The fake Guns N' Roses. I would suggest to anyone that's got tickets for their kids to see concerts that are sort of in the summer and later on, I would suggest, and I wouldn't subscribe. I mean, I'm saying I'm not taking my kids to see Kiss next week. We didn't have tickets, and we probably couldn't have anyway. But what has happened this week has made me stop investigating whether I could or not. But if you've got tickets to see gigs sort of in a couple of weeks or in a few months' time, it is, remember this, and I don't mean this in any way to be disrespectful to what happened this week, but we forget things really, really quickly. I remember getting on the tube, the London Underground, quite soon after the 7/7 attacks, and thinking, well, travelling on the tube is never going to be the same again, and looking at people differently. And if there was someone that had brown skin and a beard and a rucksack, and being completely honest, I was looking at them differently. That passed after a day. After maybe about 2 days. 2 days, I was back to normal, jumping on and now I get on the tube, and I treat it as normal, and I jump on and jump off, as millions of people do every day. And we forget things. We forget fear, and we forget pain. This is why someone told me this is why women can have the second child, right? The first one's really painful. But very quickly, the human brain forgets pain. If you've ever broken your leg, right? Try and remember how painful it was. You can't do it. You can't remember pain, and we forget pain, we forget fear. And here's a phrase, and again, I don't mean this to be disrespectful. I mean it as an observation of human nature. We get on with our lives, and if you're going to a concert that's in July or August or near Christmas, who knows what your attitude's going to be then? But Paul has done what he felt was right for his boy. That's it. That's the job. That's our job as parents. Do what you think is right for your kids. Do the best you can for your kids. And Paul's done that. So, hats off. Top hats off. 0344 499 1000. Alan and Gatford, stay there. This is Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Busy days. Can I just say, for the next 3 Saturdays on Virgin Radio, yeah! Between 4 and 7, I'm hosting a show. But I'm not allowed to play the songs that I want. I've got to play their songs, which is fine. But I don't really know. I don't really do music radio. I don't get music radio. So, for the next 3 Saturdays, only for 3 Saturdays, the third one I can play my own songs. It's to kind of plug the fact we're going to New York. So I've got to pick a load of New York songs. But for the next 2, between 4 and 7, I'll periscope it so you can watch me. I get to drive the desk and everything. I haven't driven the desk for over a year, so I don't know, press all the buttons. And I've got to play their songs. But I don't really know what to do. I don't know. I mean, do I just go, hi, this is Iain Lee. You're listening to Virgin Radio. Here's Bruno Mars and Uptown Funky World. Do I do that? Is that what you do? Or do I do, games? I don't know what to do, but it seemed like a good idea when they asked me. Good evening, dear listener. This is Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. If you've not been listening for a while, well then, for God's sakes, come back, because I've remembered how to do radio. It goes like this. It goes exactly like this. 0344 499 1000. A few things for you to know. I do a live show with, I'm doing 2 live shows. One is Iain Lee versus Radio, which is a show I've been touring for the last couple of years. I've got one more performance of it in the UK, and then I'm junking it, right? And that is on Sunday, June the 4th in Birmingham at the Glee Club. If you Google Iain Lee Glee Club Birmingham, you'll be able to get tickets for that. Then me and Catherine do a show called The Rabbit Hole, and we're doing a world tour. We can officially call it a world tour because on June the 15th, we'll be playing in New York City. We've sold 2 tickets for New York. on July the 9th. Newcastle, we're coming to the Stand Comedy Club in Newcastle on July the 9th. It's a late afternoon show, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And Saturday, the 29th of July, we are coming back triumphant to one of the greatest cities in the world, Manchester. After we were there before, it was absolutely delightful. We are coming back to Manchester. If you want to know how to get tickets for any of them, send me an email. It's probably the easiest way. IAIN@IainLee.com. Ian@IainLee.com. Send me an email or ask me on Twitter and I'll and we're doing one London show this year. Only one. It's not at the usual venue. It's at King's Place in King's Cross sometime in September. Details to follow. So just to recap, we are going to... Have you got a pen and pencil, Alan?
I've got it ready.
A pen and pencil? What good is that going to be? You need a pen and paper. New York on June the 15th.
Yeah, June the 15th, New York.
Newcastle 2 News on July the 9th.
July the 9th, Newcastle.
Manchester on July the 29th.
I think you might have to postpone that one.
Sorry?
I think you might have to postpone the Manchester one.
Why, Alan? What do you know that we don't?
Due to what happened on Monday
No, of course not. It's even more reason to go back to Manchester and you know, as I say, show them our support. Me and Kath doing a silly little podcast means nothing, but no. Manchester rests for nobody, and today it's been busy and thriving and action-packed. So we will be there on Saturday, July the 29th. And then we are playing one gig in London this year, in September, at King's Place. Tickets are yet to go on sale. It's that bloody song again. What you got for us, Kath?
Well, I want to talk about something unrelated.
Oh, beautiful.
You know the 1986 film Top Gun?
Do I know that? Say that again.
The 1986 film Top Gun?
I do not. I've never seen it, but I know it, yeah.
Tom Cruise has confirmed that they're making a sequel of it.
What the heck? Hasn't that got Goose? Is Goose in that?
He died in that one.
Oh, that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Maybe his son Gosling will be in it. Ryan Gosling could be in it as his son!
The son of Goose.
I get Gosling, because Gosling is a baby goose, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Ryan Gosling... I watched the most boring film I've ever seen, starring Ryan... Well, no. I watched the most boring film I've ever seen, full stop. Starring Ryan Gosling... It was called... Is it called The Driver or Taxi Driver or something?
Doesn't sound good.
Well, cheer up, Alan.
So, I'm just trying to come to the Glee Club.
The Glee Club? You're going to be there?
If I can get a ticket, I'm not.
Well, for goodness sakes. You can get tickets. It certainly won't have sold out. Yeah, this Ryan Gosling film... where he's a driver, but they don't say anything. It was boring. I ended up doing stuff on my phone. Proper boring. Boring films, dear listener. Boring films. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Ian.
Good evening, Paul. You've got a very mysterious voice.
Oh, that's because I'm just relaxed and listen to yourself.
Do you... I don't smoke, and I haven't smoked for about 12 years, right? But sometimes I really just fancy a fag. I really fancy a fag, and I fancy a fag now. But a roll-up. I can never smoke straight. It would be a roll-up, right? And here's the thing. There's no such thing as just one fag, is there, Paul? Are you a smoker?
How do you know that?
I could tell from the husky sound of your voice and the yellow-stained fingers. But there's no such thing. If I have one cigarette, well, then that's it. The floodgates are open. But does that work?
So terrible.
Does that work with cigars? Because I'd love to.
Oh, I love a cigar. Just at Christmas, over the Christmas dinner.
I'd love a cigar. I can't talk. I'd love a cigar. But they give you cancer. It's still smoking, so there's no point.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
Paul, what you got for us?
What about the vaping?
No, mate, because if you're going to smoke, you might as well smoke properly.
Yeah, exactly.
Vaping is smoking for cowards.
Yeah.
Use that as a slogan.
No
vaping, it's smoking for cowards.
You absolutely kill me. Well, I've never spoken to you before, fella, but I must just add.
Yes.
You keep me bloody awake till 1 o'clock in the morning.
I know, and I'm sorry, and I'm going to make sure I turn down the music. You live in the flat above me, don't you, Paul? I recognise you.
Yeah, just a fish and chip shop.
Oh, God, you live above a fish and chip shop?
Is it the pie and mash shop?
My sister, Joe, have I got this right? When you lived in Hull, she used to live above a chippy, so everything smelt of chips. Everything smelled of fish and chip, because it does, because that oil stinks, and it wafts through the ceiling up through the floorboards, and all of your clothes smell of batter.
How do you deal with liquor?
I've never licked. Oh, you mean pie mash and liquor? I've never had it, and I should do because it's in my genes.
In your genes?
Yeah, because my dad's common.
Anyway, on a serious note.
Okay, that was the fun bit. Let's get serious now. Yes, let's get ready to rumble, as Ant and Dec once sang. Or was it PJ and Duncan?
Yeah.
Georgie Fame.
They were the early days.
Yes.
I thank you for all your music and Herb Albert and all that.
Yes. But
the other evening,
yeah,
you kept me a bloody wake, and it wasn't your fault.
A bloody wake, wow, yes. Go on.
It made me cry, and then I listened to you. I usually download your podcasts.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Daily podcasts.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
It was so sad.
What was? Before, just to judge whether to cut this music or not for being inappropriate. Oh, okay, yes, it's to cut the music, yes. Which one? What, the night when we were on, when it was happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible, wasn't it?
I will call her the lady, and she was working her butt off.
Yes.
Yeah, and you said, there's something happened.
Yes.
I just had to stay there. But, like you said...
Horrible night. Horrible night.
It was disgusting. And
disgusting, yeah. How are you feeling now, Paul? 2 days later, less than 48 hours, because it happened about 10:30, didn't it? 48 hours later, how are you feeling, Paul?
How am I feeling?
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm listening to yourself, yeah?
You're very welcome.
Because we can just measure out things.
Yep.
It's a bit like scales. You have to weigh up things.
Yeah.
And you have to carry on in life.
Yep. Paul, I appreciate your call, mate. Thank you very much.
All right, then. You take care.
Cheers, my dears. Take care. There we go. 0344 499 1000. Still a valid question. How you doing? And I think it is appropriate that we have a laugh, because it's like a pressure release, isn't it? When, Gatford, I'll come to you in a bit, I promise. People laugh at really inappropriate moments. Because quite often, here's a phenomenon. Dun, 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 dun. Quite often people laugh when they're told that someone's died. It's a thing, and that person almost instantly becomes filled with shame and guilt. Oh, God. But it's laughter as well as, being a release of pressure. A joke is a build-up of pressure. Someone telling a joke, it's a build-up of pressure, and then they just prick it right at the end with the punchline, and we laugh as a release. But it's also a sign of nervousness and being uncomfortable. It's a nervous reaction to laugh. Sometimes I see people, you be at funerals, people are in floods of tears, and someone will just start laughing uncontrollably. It's the weirdest thing. Don't worry, though, guys. The next 3 minutes will be laughter-free. I guarantee that. Because it's Gatford.
Hey, you remembered how to do radio.
Thank you very much indeed, Gatford. It was like the Matrix. I got plugged into a machine, and I learnt kung fu in about 30 seconds.
Oh, so the first one will be good, and the next 2 nights won't be so good.
Yeah, but the second one's going to be sexier and sweatier, but rubbishier.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the third one, no one's going to remember.
Yeah, exactly. That's right, man.
Fair enough.
That's right. Yeah.
I've got some ideas for your show, for your radio show.
Oh, because I'm doing Virgin Radio on Saturday, 3 Saturdays in.
What time does it start?
Yeah?
What time does it start?
4 o'clock till 7 o'clock Saturday afternoons on Virgin. But I won't be produced by Davis, because he wasn't very good producer. Anyway, go on, so what are we going to do?
2 features. The top 10 at 4, obviously.
Top 10 at 4, what does that mean? Tell me what it means. I like it. Top 10 at 4.
You play 10 songs on a theme at 4, back to back, just a little bit of talking in between.
I don't need to talk. This is great. If we can cut down the amount of talking time.
Top 10 at 4.
Yeah.
And would have been better if you were the top 10 at 10, but you're not on in the morning.
Could do could do the bottom 4 at 4.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's like it's like the worst 4 songs at 4.
Oh, yeah.
Could do that.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, bottom 4 at 4.
Yeah, we're brainstorming. We're creatives, and we're brainstorming.
And then the other one is Pop Mistress.
Oh, tell me about that one.
Yeah, so it's just like a quiz.
Oh, I've accidentally cut him off for being a knob. 0344 499 1000. If you have got any tips, the next 3 Saturdays I'm on Virgin Radio at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it's the afternoon. Oh no, what if it's like early breakfast, 4 till 7, 4 a.m. Spike, isn't it? I've got literally no idea. First of all, I don't know how to run the studio because they've not let me run the studio here. I've got to press buttons and stuff. And second, I don't know what to say. What do you say? What are you supposed to say? That was hang on a second. That song's finishing. Hang on. Okay, so that was Never on a Sunday by Herb Alpert. Next, it's Mexican Shuffle by Herb Alpert. Is that how you do it? Because I can do that, but I want to make the show me, but not so rubbish. Dear listener, spread the word. I'm back in town, and we are kicking some ass. A busy show this evening. So these are the topics that we have thrown out so far. What earworms is going around in your head right now? Things that you're good at that you don't get recognition for. I think I'm the best whistler in the world, and we are having a whistling competition with a prize of £1 million and a car up for grabs. Can anyone... Oh, no, I've done that. If you're on a live album or a live DVD or a live video, 0344 499 1000, shouty songs... Come On Eileen, of course, by Dexy's Midnight Runners, and songs where they it add syllables. You were working as a waiteress. No, in a cocktail. Was it a cocktail? No, anyway, and I've written down here Metal Guru. I don't quite know how we're going to get a topic out of that, but I'm going to leave that with you guys. I can't do all the work. Metal Guru, call me now. Oh, maybe you are a metal guru. 0344 499 1000. You're listening to Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
1 hour down, another 2 to go, guys. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. I'm throwing all these topics out. You can, of course, call in about absolutely anything you want. But you go and tell those sad cases, I've remembered how to do radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
That was really my fault. If you're going to here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. If you're going to steal money from an artist and rip a CD or an entire album of their material, don't put a really crappy muffled version on there. That's that you've disappointed everybody there. Who was that? Let's give that. Kenny Rocksable the First. People are idiots. Hang on, let's try this one. Here we go. Here we go. You're listening to Virgin. Here's Herb Alpert. I can't say Herb Alpert. Output. Evening, dear listener. This is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. 0344 499 1000. It's a late night phoning show, unlike any others. If you've turned away over the past months because I've been miserable, well, I'm back. Let's just say I am back. You can listen online on DAB. There's a Talk Radio app, or you can use Radio Player or iTunes. And when I'm on air, you can watch me, as 353 people are doing right now, by going to periscope.com/Iain Lee. By the way, if you've not been listening this week, you've missed the return of Andre. That will mean something to some of you and nothing to most of you. Don't worry, it was out as a podcast. Daily podcast, still happening, guys, still happening. 0344 499 1000. I said I was looking for a metal guru. Katia, I could describe you as a metal guru.
It's a good description, yes, indeed.
Mais oui, c'est un petit point.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to take the other phone. Hello, yes.
What? Sorry?
I changed phone.
Does that work? Do you ever used to watch the Batman TV series?
Yeah.
I bought it for the kids, but they weren't interested. And when Batman was on the phone to Commissioner Gordon, and Commissioner Gordon had, like, the Riddler on the other phone, he would get the two phones, turn one round and put them together.
All right.
So
I can do that.
So one earpiece was going into the mouthpiece, and the other mouthpiece was going into the earpiece.
Okay. Do you want me to try that?
Well, but who are you on the phone to?
You.
Well, then how will that work? I'll just be talking to myself.
Okay.
Try it, though.
Okay. I'm taking... Oh, okay. This is my ear.
Right. You can't talk, though. You've got to put the phone next to the...
Oh, which phone?
Oh, hello. So just get... What? How many phones have you got?
I've got two.
Right, put them together, but turn one round.
Oh, right.
So I'm talking into the other phone now.
So that's you. Hold on.
No.
My ear. Try this.
Yes, your ear isn't part of this equation.
What's happening?
Your ear is not part of this equation.
Okay.
You shouldn't be able to hear what I'm saying.
Oh, sorry.
Right, hello?
Hello?
No.
But I can't hear you, by the way.
Well, then how did you respond perfectly to the statement I made?
My phones are kissing.
Right, put the phone... Put me back to Katia. Put me back onto Katia.
Right, okay, hold on.
It wouldn't
hello?
work. Yes, hello. It wouldn't work for two reasons. One, because the Riddler wasn't on the other line, and two, because you're an idiot. Now!
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome, Katia. I'm back. What have you got for us?
I've got... so this musical edition of yours, that's on Friday. When is it? When are you on?
I'm on Virgin Radio. Is that still the jingle? I should probably listen to the station for at least 10 minutes. That's on Saturdays between 4 and 7.
Yeah. So the music, you can't choose the music.
No, they tell me what to play. I'm their music monkey.
Oh, that's a hard one then.
And I'll have to pretend I like Blink 182 and Green Day.
Oh.
Green Day. I can't pretend I like Green Day. I like one of the... What was the Green Day song? Hang on a minute. That goes, Another virgin down the road. Another fortune down the road. That takes you by the heel and just when you find What song is that? That's a good song, that. I like that one.
So you can start with that.
Sun takes you by the hand and shows you down the road. Another part of hand that's on a tiny bow. You gotta live now and you gotta hold my hand. And the times they are a-changing.
So, are you...
Hang on a second, let me just take this. Hang on, line one. Do you know what that song is?
Okay.
Hello, line one?
Hello?
Yeah?
Yeah, what is that song?
It goes like this. I've got a dirty.
How did he get through? How did he get through? By the way, on tomorrow night's show, it's Friday night show, it's a withheld number special. You can only call in if you withhold your number. How does that sound, guys? Yeah? You can only call in on Friday night if you withhold your number. That's happening. Katia, what did you call in for? You called in to talk about Green Day.
You're going to have perverts ringing you.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, how many minutes do you have in between songs? A lot? Or?
I'm just looking. Hang on a minute. I've just been sent the documents, the official documents. Okay. Always say all the biggest hits all day long at the top of the link, never at the end. Say the station name into the new song. Link should be 10 to 15 seconds maximum, and only focus on selling the song coming up, nothing else.
Yeah, that's Bow Wow, isn't it?
Or tease into every break. Your teases need to be signed off by your content controller or content director. Tease me, don't warn me. Never tell me the song and artist.
Yeah.
The thought of that particular song may prompt me to switch out. However, once it starts playing, I'm probably going to stick with it. Discharge.
No.
So those are the instructions. Those are the radio instructions they've given me.
Blimey. I thought you could have interesting stories about how the records were made and things like that, but it doesn't look like it. You're just going to have to.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that.
Well, hey, listen. They're paying me £600 a session.
Well, okay, I'm gonna.
Not really. I wouldn't get out of bed for less than 720.
Okay.
I don't know how much they are paid. I don't know if I'm getting paid.
Oh, really?
Well, do you know what? I didn't. They just said you fancy doing it. I went, yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't. Oh, nuts.
Right. Okay.
Oh well. And Virgin Radio's... Have I got this right? Because I thought Virgin was downstairs, but they said it's on this council estate in this bloke called Sweaty Steve's bedroom. And it's done... Here's the weird thing. They said it's done on an Iwa stereo. An Iwa hi-fi... A-I-W... An Iwa hi-fi stereo. And it, from someone's bedroom on a council estate, a bloke called Sweaty Steve. I've got a feeling I've been stitched up here. Well, I'll do it, because I'm a man. I've never taken a day off sick, and I've certainly never cancelled a job, and I'm not going to start doing it now.
No. Maybe it could open, I don't know. What could that open to? Doors? What kind of doors?
Here's the thing. Your agent will always say, you never know where this... You get offered free work, right? And they always say, well, you never know where it will end, where it will lead to. I know where it will lead to. It will lead to more free work. I went for a meeting for a job this week that I'm not allowed to say anything about.
Oh.
And I don't think they're going to offer it to me, because I thought they would have got back the very, very next day. So I don't think they're going to offer it to me. And I can't say anything about it.
Yeah.
But part of me really, really wants to do it. And part of me really, really doesn't want to do it.
What part of you?
Well, the part of me that doesn't want to do it is the part that likes getting paid, because it's quite a long job with no money, right? And also the part of me that doesn't like faff. Do you know the word faff?
Is it aggravation?
Yes. I don't like faff, and this job would be a lot of faff.
Oh.
If it happens, you'll see it, and if it doesn't happen, I'll tell you about it.
Okay.
Okay, doggy.
Thank you.
When I say you, I don't mean I'm going to phone you up, Kath.
Oh, right, like you said. I was expecting your call.
No.
Okay.
No,
don't call me, no.
Thank you. Okay. What was the point you wanted to make, Katya? Okay. 0344 499 1000 is the... he's still going. Seriously, the album covers of Herb Alpert, he knows some sexy women. Okay, here we go. Here's it. Oh! Let me write this down, because this is actually gold. Hang on. Here is the best topic ever, right? Even better than rumours about teachers, right? The sexiest album covers of all time. And you can't have what was that? Hang on a minute. Julie.
Yeah.
Julie. What was that band that Brian Ferry was in?
Roxy Music.
You can't have the Roxy Music covers, because I don't think they're sexy. I think they're actually pervy.
Artistically.
Well, isn't it weird, right? When you go to someone's house and they're like normal, and they'll have like pictures of naked women in the bathroom, or sometimes in the living room, and because they're framed and behind glass and black and white, and even if you can see a bit of bush, it's like in the living room, and they've got kids, and you're thinking, flipping heck is that? And sometimes I've been round there, and I've said, what's that about? And they go, oh, it's the missus. And it's that, what is that about?
My friends went out with somebody, and he had erotic photos, artistic erotic photos of his ex everywhere, and she just said that was.
Well, though that's called, what do they call that now? That is What's that the porn when you post porn of your ex-girlfriend on Hamster or something?
Revenge.
That's revenge porn. That's the worst kind of revenge porn, because you're imagine if I had a naked picture of my ex-girlfriend. It would be weird. I don't think my wife would, but I had it up there. No, this doesn't work because A, I'm married, and B, my dad's dead. But then your dad came round and saw it.
Yeah, embarrassing.
That would be inappropriate. And here's the thing: women don't have pictures of men's winkles.
You say that.
Oh, yeah. Hello, sailor. Hello, sailor. Cheeky lady. She's a cheeky lady. Julie, I'm late for a break. Stay there. I'll come to you after this, please.
Late night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Oh! I didn't even know that was playing! That was Julie, that was amazing! That was on YouTube just playing. I didn't even know that was playing! And if you're watching on Periscope, you know that's true. I didn't know that was playing. Julie, what have you got for us?
Well, you know how you sang that Metal Guru, and which has got the accent on the wrong bit of the emphasis on the wrong part of the word.
Yes. Yes.
I've always thought that about the film, which has got Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd.
Trading Places.
Yeah, see, I say Trading Places, and loads of people say Trading Places.
Oh, loads of people say Star Wars.
No.
My mate says Star Wars. What?
Trading Places. It's not.
Oh, do you know what, Julie? I am so glad you've mentioned this, because I thought I was going nuts. I'm not familiar with it in the Trading Places phenomenon, but I do hear it quite. I say my mate loves Star Wars. I'm thinking, it's your favourite film. You can't even say it properly. It's Star Wars. Duh-duh, not duh-duh. It's duh-duh. That's the tune. Duh-duh.
Exactly. And the Green Day song that you were trying to think of is called Good Riddance.
Another turning back and fall back in the road. I've grabbed you by the hand and makes you want to cry. And did it bum bum bum. Hey, look, there's a Herb Alpert disco album here called Fandango. Let's have a little listen to this. Disco. I like it. Here we go. Here's the sexy album covers. 0344 499 1000. Acts that went disco that shouldn't have gone disco. Here we go. Hang on a minute. Here we go. Herb Alpert Fandango disco album from 1982. Whoa! Hey! Whoa! Hang on! This is sex music! Yes. Oh, this could quite possibly be yes please. This could quite possibly be Julie, the greatest album of all time. Herb Alpert, Fandango.
It should be. And I can't think of any album covers, but the inside of Electric Ladyland with all the nudie ladies used to make me.
Yeah, but there's 60 nudie ladies, and they've got. There's just. Here's the thing, right? And I don't. Oh, why was I doing it? Oh, I tell you why. Because I'm on. By the way, the Eddie Large show is sold out, guys. Eddie Large has sold out. Actually, I've sold too many tickets. That's my problem. But to promote it, I joined as a brilliant. I'm totally out of breath now. There's a brilliant page on Facebook called Keep Variety Alive. It's brilliant. And actually, I've had a few ideas for guests from there, and asked, because they'll put posters up from like the 70s and the 80s, and more recently, they had a brilliant one of Dexter Fletcher doing pantomime, and they just put them up then. It's absolutely fascinating, and I'll sometimes think, oh, we'll have them as a guest. I think that's why we got Eddie Large on, actually, because I saw him in that. Why am I telling you about that?
I don't know. All I can think of is Dexter Fletcher in
No, that was it. That was it. So someone posted a picture of, for some reason, a porno lady from the 70s. And I can't remember her name, but she was quite a famous porno. And when I say porno, I mean like 70s porn, right? And so I Googled her, right? I Googled her, and some like 70s porn came up. Women had really big nipples in the 70s. Really, like sometimes it was the nipple was the size of the breast. It's incredible. And I just find it really, I mean, apart from the obvious things that can be changed by cosmetics, like, you know, the depilation and doing, and the breasts, you know, we're used to rounder breasts now because so many of, in terms of pornography, because so many of them are false. But the shape of women has changed dramatically.
So it's not whatever happened to large nipples.
Well, there we go. 0344 499 1000. Have you still got large? No, let's not go down there. But it really, and that's, you know, that's what I grew up, you know, as a teenager looking at. I don't know where I'm going with that, Julie. So I'm going to cut you off because you're a very naughty lady. 0344 499 1000. We've got nearly 450 people watching us on Periscope, periscope.tv/Iain Lee. There is a daily podcast. I just moved my arm like that. If you're watching on Periscope, Kath, I just did that. And I didn't mean it to. It looks like I'm doing a Nazi salute. I didn't mean it to. I'm sort of, I meant to do more of a wave, like, and there are podcasts. But because my arm was at an angle, it went like that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. There are podcasts available, dear listener. Daily podcasts and best-ofs and guests and all of that stuff. You can get them on iTunes, or you can get them from your usual podcast providers. Let's go to Don't Get Dumb. Don't Get Done. Get Dom. Hang on, let's do it again. Don't Get Done.
Get Dom.
Get Dom.
How's that?
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it?
That's all right, fellas. Sexy albums.
By the way, Dom.
Yeah.
I can't really say anything about this job I'm up for, but if I get it...
I'm in it. I've got a part.
Yeah. Dumped it.
What?
Nothing?
I didn't even hear
Nothing? Thanks, Kath. Thank you. Dumped it. Nothing, mate. Sorry?
Nothing. Oh, okay. Yeah.
What an idiot! One day this will all make sense, Dom. What have you got for us, boys? Nothing to worry about, by the way. Don't worry. What have you got for us?
All right, that's good. Sexy album covers.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go on.
Any of the Mama and Papas with Michelle Phillips on.
Really? I just. Is there a more beautiful woman in pop? I don't think so. I do not think so. I absolutely stunning.
Definitely. What else have I got? Shouty songs. I've got a load. I've got a napkin here full of notes while I've just been on the phone.
If any of them are Slade songs, just say Slade, because all Slade songs are shouty. That's the point of Slade.
Best Slade song is the down at Such a Club Tonight or something. I can't remember how it goes.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I'll find it. Do my deviation. Anyway,
yes.
Oh, sit down,
oh, sit down, oh, sit down, sit down next to me. That's a song, isn't it? James are a strange band, and they really only had 4 good songs. What were they? There was Sit Down. I liked Born of Frustration. Born of Frustration.
Yeah.
There'll be like some old heads who like, was it called Stripped, I think? Get a Life. They had another hit, didn't they? Funny to think that James had a couple of hits in the charts. What was the other one? They had a hit. What was the other hit? And then they went weird, because they were weird. Then they went poppy. Then they went weird again.
I don't know. They're a Manchester band, but they were never one of my favourites.
They were on the Christmas edition, the 11 o'clock show Christmas special. I had to go, and ladies and gentlemen, now it's James. Lade. How did Lade go, though? Catherine, get on the microphone. Catherine's on the ones and twos. She's had a Bacardi Breezer. We can't get her off the stage. Go on, Kath. Nope, you've turned on the microphone in here. Jeez. She's the producer of this show, and she hasn't got a flipping clue how to turn on.
Is it this one?
Yes.
This bed is on fire with passionate love.
Oh, turn it off. You sound awful. No, turn it off. Turn it off. Absolutely awful. I do apologise. I do.
I'm glad you got the fader.
Yes. Well, no, I haven't. We that was a little scene we did there. She was in control of the fader and ruined the magic there, haven't I?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Disappointing. Words that people say weird.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
Well, but
I say Newcastle, but people say up in Newcastle.
Well,
today.
I do think that if the people in Newcastle, July the 9th guys, were coming, if they say Newcastle, then that's the right way to say it. You can't criticise them for the way they pronounce they're beautiful. The only time I've been in Newcastle, I remember it being freezing, and I drove Jimmy Nail's car. Anyway, you can't criticise them for the way they pronounce Newcastle.
Yeah, well, you can't start being a Lord and Master about how words are pronounced.
I tell you what I can be a Lord and Master about, Dom, is about who I cut off the show. Do you know, I mean, if you're going to disrespect me... By the way, later on we'll play some more of Al Pacino talking Cockney, if you missed it last night. I know a lot of you have had nightmares as a result of that. We'll play that in a bit. 0344 499 1000. Spread the word, dear listener. The show is back. Here's what we've got so far. It's packed. And I think all of the topics that I have thrown out tonight were none of the ones I was planning to do tonight. That's how much we're on fire. And look, we're 6 people away from having 500 viewers on Periscope. That's what I'm talking about. If you're watching on Periscope, swipe up and swipe to the side. Swipe up and swipe to the side. It invites people to come and join you. Swipe up and swipe to the side. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Here's what we've got so far. What earworms are polluting your mind right now? And it's just... And if anybody has got... And this is a genuine question, mate. If anybody knows the psychological reason why that happens, 0344 499 1000. Because I don't understand why the brain feels the need to torture itself with something like that. And it's never a whole song, is it? It's never a whole song. It's just a little phrase that's 502, thank you. It's just a little phrase that just goes round and round and round. How? Why? Why does it... They always talk about Guantanamo Bay and how they would blast them with like Barry Manilow's Copacabana and that big pink dinosaur, Barney, the Barney song. At Waco, they did the same thing. You know the Waco siege? They did the same thing. After about 10 nights of it, they started flashing lights and playing... what was it? Oh, it was a really famous song. What was it? It wasn't the Eagles. It was something. Playing it really... oh, no! These boots are made for walking. That's what it was. There's footage of it. I've seen it in a couple of documentaries recently. That Waco... with, who was the guy in Waco? Koresh, David Koresh. Fascinating man. I mean, a nut job, but fascinating. And to try and get them out, they used these disruptive techniques of at night time, flashing lights on and off, and playing on a loop, these boots are made for walking. Wowzers. But surely the trick to break someone down psychologically is to not play the full song, is to just have... ready, boots, let's walk. And just have that on a loop. Or the doom 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 doom. Just have that on a loop. That's what you need to do. That would get people cracking. 0344 499 1000. It's a long shot, but if you're on a live album, legitimate or otherwise, do let me know. I'm on a bootleg, a Beach Boys bootleg, a Brian Wilson bootleg. It was back when I was drinking, and I was off my nut, right? It was the second night, I think, or the third night of Brian Wilson playing Smile at the Royal Festival. I was out of it, right? Absolutely out of it. And we had quite good seats, me and my mate Spence. And then during the interval, we got talking to these two pissheads. And they said, we're up in a box, you should come and join us. And they said, no. They said, no, honestly, there's a couple of empty boxes and we've just been sat there for the whole show and no one said anything. So we went up in the box with these two drunks. And it was very, very naughty up there. And to one point where one of them said, I need a wee, but I'm not going. He did a wee in his pint glass. Anyway, they came out to introduce the band. And I shouted very very loudly. It was in the dark days. I shouted very loudly, "Who needs Mike Love?" Which is a reference that Beach Boy fans will get. And I'm on the bootleg. You can hear me going, "Who needs Mike Love?" And then a round of applause from the Royal Festival Hall. So if you're on a live album, legitimate or otherwise, we'll take that. Can anyone whistle better than me? I don't think so, guys. Shouty songs, syllables, sexy album covers, and here's a topic where you're allowed to do anything you want with it. It's Metal Guru. That's all I'm going to give you guys. Metal Guru. James is up next. That's the only call we've got lined up. So if you want to take part, 0344 499 1000. Now is an excellent time to call. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. There'll be a new episode of The Rabbit Hole in a couple of hours. If you go to Acast or iTunes and yes, there'll be a new episode. The third one that we recorded in Manchester. And a lot of people say, we like the show, but some of the calls are a bit ropey. All of the calls we received when we were in Manchester were absolutely top notch. I mean, apart from the Australian fella who gets on my nerves. We just put him in to pad it out. But a really, really funny show we did in Manchester. And we'll be back there on July the 29th. And we should be very, very proud to go back to Manchester. James. Good evening, James.
On the subject of ropey calls, good evening.
Good evening, James.
Hip, hip, hip.
What you got for us, boss?
Well, you just reminded me a couple of minutes ago, these boots were made for walking.
Yes.
Wonderful song, wonderful song. Reminded me of a story that I once read about that song.
Yes.
Which was, remember Celebrity Stars in Their Eyes? Great show.
I do. All I remember is Simon Day from The Fast Show doing Boy George. They asked me to go on there.
Go on.
But they asked me to go on. I said, yeah, I'd like to go on as Beyonce or Gene Simmons from Kiss. And they said, no. We tell you who to do. And I went, all right. And it was $3,000, I think. I think it was $3,000. And they said, yeah, we'd like you to be Justin Hawkins from The Darkness. And I practiced it. I tried it in my car. And I thought, I could pull this off. But actually, I don't want to do it. So I didn't do it. Which is a bit silly, really. Because it'd be a funny thing to show the kids.
It'd be great.
I also turned down hosting an episode of Have I Got News for You? Imagine.
Oh, you go.
I bottled it. I totally bottled it. I was doing a breakfast show at the time, and I said, "Oh no, I'll be too tired." It wasn't. I totally bottled it.
Your star is rising again. You've got to get that gig. That'd be amazing.
No. TV's done and dusted. TV is over. Radio is where it's at, guys. And boy, oh boy, this show is really turning into a powerhouse again.
It is, isn't it, though?
Isn't it
really
just? Isn't it just? Anyway, go on.
Sorry, yeah. Well, funny you should say that they tell you who to be. I read a story once that that song, These Boots Are Made for Walking, is kind of like in the studios of that show, Celebrity Stars in Their Eyes. It's kind of like it's held in a glass case where, in case of emergency, if they get a celebrity on who can't sing, that's the one they bring out. Oh. They've had it kind of in a case, kind of just in case we book someone and it turns out, dear, not a good voice. We didn't have to use it for ages. And then it turns out Caprice, the model, got booked.
Caprice! I interviewed a note. She was always on Rise for some. I liked Caprice. What a delightful lady she was. Yeah, I forgot about Caprice. She was good. Yeah, I liked her. They broke the emergency glass for her, did they?
Just for her, yeah, that song.
Wowzers. It was good, that show, but it was only good when Matthew Kelly did it.
Oh, he was good. He was the master.
Matthew Kelly, absolutely brilliant. I always thought he was cracking at that. Saturday evening television now. I don't watch TV, but it just. No. Oh, well, I'm an old fart, James. I was going to say it's not as good as it used to be, and that's an old fart thing to say.
But it's also true.
Well, you're an old fart.
Yeah,
totally.
It used to be something to gather around, didn't it? The whole family. You know, it used to be the time that you couldn't imagine people not watching TV. On
we don't really have shared family television. And I don't know if it's a national thing. It's certainly in our house, right? Because the kids constantly watch stuff on Netflix, but they watch kids stuff on Netflix. So the other week I thought I'm going to buy a DVD of a classic film and we'll sit down one Sunday afternoon and watch it. And we ended up buying two films. My boys chose James and the Giant Peach, and I chose Dr. Dolittle.
Right? Oh, great.
And we're going to watch it as a family, right? So I got up Sunday and I said, right, guys, we're going to watch those films later on. Oh, no, we've watched James and the Giant Peach. Sorry? So, yeah, no, we watched it this morning. What?
Oh.
I was asleep. Yeah, no, we watched it. Unbelievable. Gotcha. All right, then. Right, so this afternoon, about 1 o'clock, we're all going to watch Dr. Dolittle. And then we go, I don't fancy it. No, I don't want to watch it. Can we watch Dennis the Menace? No, you bloody can't watch Dennis the Menace. Yeah, you can't watch these awful Dennis the Menace and Horrid Henry cartoons. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Dear.
So that attempt to educate them fell flat.
I got the same with Mary Poppins. I think it was last Christmas.
Yeah.
I thought, it'd be really nice. My daughter, she's the same. She watches Netflix, YouTube, awful stuff on YouTube. And so I thought, right, we're going to sit down. We're going to watch a film, like a whole film, beginning to end. Not like, bits of it, not just like the funny bits, the 10 funniest bits of Mary Poppins on YouTube. The whole thing. Put it on. About 5 seconds in, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Their credits haven't even finished yet. Bored. Just sit with it give it a minute. Oh, dear.
Actually, what you should have said. Thing is, my kids used to like Mary Poppins. What you should have said is tough. Tough.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Tough. We're not turning it off right now. There is nothing else on. We are sitting here as a family, and we are watching it.
I'm plugging the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. No. Of course. Unplug the Wi-Fi. No, there is nothing else on. We are watching this. If you want to play on the floor, you play on the floor. But this film is staying on till the end.
Firm but fair. I like it.
Hey, I was reminded by my boys that a couple of years ago in Greece, we saw there was a Mary Poppins show on, right? There's in Zakynthos, I say beautiful amphitheatre. It's not, it's horrible. It's like, mate, it's at the top of you have to go up this hill, and it's just sort of made out of concrete, right? Yeah. So it's quite unpleasant. But we went and saw, years and years ago, we went and saw the Greek woman that won the Eurovision Song Contest. Anyway, so there's a Mary Poppins show on, right? So we went and saw it. I have never seen such an unofficial rip-off of Mary. Honestly, if the Disney Corporation were to just travel around a Greek island, they would find so many infringements on their copyrights. The Mickey Mouse. The Greeks do it because they know they've not got no money, so they can't be sued by Disney. But they're ripping it off left, right. If I were to rip off Disney now, if I were to say, now we're joined by my new regular character, Mickey Mouse. Oh, hello, the Walt Disney Corporation would be up my ass.
Yeah.
But Greece gets away with it.
Well, it's something that you always see on holidays. Every time you go on to that sort of part of the world, you always see these shops selling T-shirts with basically Disney characters having sex with each other.
Yeah, you do. I never forget, right, years and years ago, when my nan and granddad were still alive, and my aunt and uncle had been to Greece or Spain, and they came back with these T-shirts, and I was only about 13, but I got the reference, right? It's the weirdest T-shirt. It was Huey, Dewey and Louie, right? Oh, yeah. From the Donald Duck's nephews, right?
Yeah.
Smoking a spliff.
Oh, man.
And it said, in the writing made out of smoke, stoned again. And they bought it for like an 8-year-old. And we're all going, what have you bought that for? Well, just a bit of fun. No, but they're smoking drugs. No, they're not. It's a cigar. Stoned.
That makes it okay.
They didn't get it. I never forget that. Stoned again. Huey, Dewey and Louie. Outrageous.
Guaranteed. But
although it turns out that Louis did actually become addicted to crystal meth, and
very sad story.
Very sad. He's now dead, unfortunately. The other two are in rehab programs, and we really do wish them the very best.
Our thoughts are with them.
James, thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. As James gets cut off and dispatched into the ether, that means another phone line becomes free, which means you can phone up, dear listener. 0344 499 1000. Late nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night Iain Lee. Unfiltered night talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. It's about this junction of the show when the calls drop off. Well, that's your problem, guys. You deal with it. Oh, no, it's my problem, isn't it? I better deal with it. Here's what we're talking about so far this evening. Earworms, things that you are good at but that you do not get the recognition for if you're on a live album, legitimate or otherwise. 0344 499 1000. Can anyone whistle better than me? Shouty songs, Metal Guru, and the sexiest album covers of all time. Here's another one. Family gossip. Like proper, listen, you can change your names and change the names of your family. And I don't mean, Uncle Terry's a nonce. I don't mean that kind of family gossip, because that gets a little bit, a little bit heavy. But we did the thing the other day, and we can carry this on as well, actually, because this was good. Rumours about teachers. Turns out that after the show, we did the rumours about teachers. After the show, I had so many emails and tweets, about a dozen, which is quite a lot, from people saying, yeah, we had a rumour at our school that a teacher had a wooden tit. Honestly, so that must have been a thing in the 80s. Rumour going around school that one of the teachers had one wooden breast. We didn't have it at my school. Did you just check your breasts then, Catherine, to see if one was made of wood? 0344 499 1000. I'm happy to reopen that one. You know the way this show works. You can call in about anything, right? And it can be a topic from a week ago, because I know we get a lot of people listen on podcasts and they go, I want to call in about. You can do. And even if here's something as well. Can we put this bit in the podcast, right? This is for you, podcast listeners, listening to the podcast now. Good evening, good morning, good day, welcome. Can I just say to you, this show goes out Monday to Friday between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m., right? Even if you're not listening, you're just a podcast listener, but you find yourself near a phone during the hours of Monday to Friday, 10 till 1, you can call in. Even if you don't know, because a couple of the callers, the regular callers, don't listen anyway. Ken don't listen, Alan don't listen, Nigel don't listen. So if you're a podcast listener, this is a message for you, and you find yourself by a telephone between 10 o'clock in the evening and 1 o'clock in the morning, Monday to Friday, and you want to dial in, maybe it's something you've just heard on this podcast or yesterday's podcast, or maybe you just want to phone in and say, hello, I'm a podcast listener, then put the phone down. Then you're very, very welcome. And here endeth this part of the podcast. Beep. And now we're back into the live radio show. So yeah, you can phone in if you want to tell us rumours about teachers. Don't mention the schools, don't mention the teachers' names, and don't quote rude poems from Limmy books, because I've been listening to them. Man, that guy's messed up, isn't he? If you the Limmy audiobook of the first one, Daft Wee Stories, when he tells a story about a bloke called Donny on the toilet, and then behind the wall there's a cow. Have you heard that story? And do you know who Donny was? It was Elvis. It was a story about Elvis. Honestly, I've never heard anything so horrific in my life. It is brilliant. Thoroughly recommend it. Not safe for kids, but if you're a kid, if you're like 15, I could not have found anything funnier than that. I remember getting Derek and Clive when I was about 15, and in hysterics, adults swearing a lot. Oh, it was wonderful. And I think that the Limmy audiobooks, they're kind of like Derek and Clive, really, just swearing and filth and completely messed up. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. I'm starting lots. Oh yeah, that was it. So rumours about teachers. We'll do that again if you want. Very, very happy for that. Also on a similar bent, family gossip. If you found out that Nana gave away 2 kids, and they've just rocked up in your life, and anything like that. It could be big or small. Big or small, maybe Uncle Steve worked away for 12 years, and then is what you were told as a kid. Then only when Uncle Steve died, you realise he'd spent 12 years inside. Something like that. Anything like that. Have a root around. Think what you got. Kath's got something. We'll get that later on. 0344 499 1000. Sexiest album covers, gossip about teachers, and rumours about your family. Andrew's called in. Good evening, Andrew.
Hey, Ian.
Hey, man, what you got for us?
Going back a couple of days ago on the podcast,
yes.
About Roger Moore.
Oh, yeah. I'm Roger Moore.
I'm Roger Moore. I get why
Hang on. What was that?
What?
You sound like you're chewing a toffee.
No, I'm Roger Moore.
No, I'm Roger Moore.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, all right, exactly.
I get why you think, I get why you know he's the best Bond.
Thank you, yes.
In the same way that Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, is the best Star Trek movie.
Oh, mate, totally. It is the best Star Trek movie, because it's funny.
Yeah, and same as Roger Moore, when he's got that He's got that comedy. It's got that comedy thing, and when he does the James Bond, he's not that serious. He's not that I'm sexy. He does a comedy thing. He does that look, and
yeah,
he's got that comedy aspect to it.
Exactly. Star Trek. I remember going to the pictures to see Star Trek 4, and it's really weird because there's humour in Star Trek. There's a bit of humour in there. But the first movie is the rule with Star Trek movies, and it holds true, is the odd ones are rubbish, the even ones are great. Yeah. But the first 3 Star Trek movies are very, very dry films with very little comedy, and then for the 4th one.
Yeah.
They just do it's just a farce. It's a full out, the bit when, because they go back in time to 1984, right? And the bit where Scotty gets a computer. Hello, computer. He picks up the mouse to speak into it. Hello, computer. It's hilarious. I love that movie.
It's so full of comedy. So, like, unlike the first 3, I don't know if it's...
And unlike any of the others after it as well. It's not like they went, oh yeah, these comedy Star Trek films with our tongues in our cheek work. Yeah. The ones after that are really po-faced as well.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's not unlike any other sort of movie franchise. Like, they get to that 4th one, they're like, this makes a bit of comedy in it.
Did, who directed 4? Was it Nimoy?
Oh, I don't know.
I think Leonard Nimoy directed it. I've got a feeling. Because he also directed, and everyone forgets this, he directed 3 Men and a Baby.
Really?
Yeah. Spock directed 3 Men and a Baby. God, he had a good touch for comedy.
Do you know what I've got to watch? Is the thing you was talking about a while ago was the Leonard Nimoy documentary.
Oh, mate, with his son. I think it's Adam Nimoy. It's on Netflix, and well, it was. I don't know if it still is. It is absolutely brilliant. That film. It is funny. It is touching. It is upset. It's just perfect. A really good film. That is.
I've not got Netflix, but I'll have to try and find it.
For the love of Spock, it's on DVD. It'll be in all the usual places. Andrew, say no more.
Yeah,
and it really is worth watching because I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
Oh well, that's about all I want to say. And I thought it was brilliant.
Andrew, nice one, mate. Thank you very much. I appreciate the call. Here we go. You don't speak to him for 7 years, and now you can't get rid of him. Good evening, Andre.
Who's that?
Here we go.
Hello. When I was at school, right,
Yes. I need to sort out my Andre soundboard for tomorrow's show. That's what we'll do, yes.
I can't hear. Hello?
Hello?
All right. When I was at school, and there was rumours that a teacher writ a poem on the toilet wall. Okay. Right? Do you know what it said?
Is it about being... Hang on. Is it about being broken-hearted?
No, what it said was, when you're in this noble hall, use the paper, not the wall. If no paper can be found, wipe your bottom along the ground. If you find the ground is gritty, give up.
There we go. Okay. Right. Now, I mean, that really is...
Classic, eh? Go on, carry on. What was you going to say?
I wasn't going to...
You had to be there.
Yeah.
Go on.
I wasn't going to say it was classic. And when you say you had to be there, I wouldn't want to be in a cubicle with you.
No, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Now, go on. But it was a rumour teacher put that on the wall.
Really?
Yeah.
And do you believe that? Surely that rumour was started by the kid that wrote it on the wall.
No, it's me. No. Well, what I was going to say...
Yes.
I don't know, I can't remember that. No, you know Catherine, yeah?
Who?
Catherine.
Oh, the woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lady on the phone, yeah?
Yes.
She said, you know I said what's her vital skills?
Yes.
Not vital, nothing else.
No.
I think she said she's 20 stone or something. Is that true?
Yeah. Hot on the phone, add 5 stone.
Ah, that's good. Nice one. Anyway, when's the football match?
Oh, it was today, Andre.
Oh, I missed it.
You must have missed it. We'll do it again next year.
Yeah. Oh, nice one. I'll be there.
No.
Go on.
I was just going to ask you how life's going.
Yeah, fair to middling, up and down.
Yeah.
As you do, yeah. Yourself?
Yeah,
we've had this conversation before, haven't we?
Well, yeah, but we didn't go beyond fair to middling, up and down. How about you? That was as far as we got with it.
Well, that's it. That's life, isn't it? You know what I mean? What more do you want? You can't expect too much.
I don't expect nothing from you, mate. Do you listen to the show?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, what do you mean? So you only found out about it this week?
Yeah, a few nights I've listened to it.
All right, okay.
Well, I've been flicking through, yeah. Okay. What I was going to say, when you go to New York anyway?
We are going... Why, you're not going, are you?
I think I might be.
Oh, I don't know. We're not going now. It's cancelled.
Do you want me to go? Can I go there for a giggle?
You can go there. It's cancelled. When are you going?
Same time as you.
No, our trip's just been cancelled.
On the same plane?
No. Our trip's just been cancelled, unfortunately.
What I was going to say,
you start every sentence with what I was going to say. Just say it.
Light-heartedly, about Roger Moore, right? That was the truth.
Yes.
Right? To lighten the show up a bit.
Yes.
You know, it was, and I thought it did.
Yeah.
But you had to listen to appreciate it.
Well,
all the old films, cinema.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Man with a Golden Gun, all that lot. You know, it's all good, wasn't it?
The best Bond film by a country mile is Live and Let Die.
Yeah, not bad.
With all the voodoo and Yaphet, what's his name? Yaphet Kotto, and he gets filled up with helium and he starts floating, then he blows up.
Yeah, and old Jaws and all that lot.
Yeah.
What was that one? What film was that?
Jaws was in two. He was in Live and Let Die, I think, and Moonraker.
No, that was Jaws 1. Jaws 1 when they was on a boat, wasn't it? that wasn't a James Bond film.
No. Phil, thanks for calling, Andre.
All right, cheers, see ya. Bye.
And he's gone. It's just... some things move along over time and evolve and some devolve. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Live and Let Die is by far and away the best James Bond film. I mean, it really is an absolute masterpiece from the opening with that mysterious funeral where it turns into a kind of jazz band thing. That is a when they start playing When the Saints Go Marching In, the New Orleans style. That is a scary opening to a film. That is a really, really. It terrified me too, Kath. Touch on the screen. Absolute. You start the film like that, you think, oh, flipping heck, where is this going? And the whole black magic stuff. Yeah, they did, yeah. The whole black magic stuff. Oh, man alive. It's a great film. Live and Let Die is a good film. The Spy Who Loved Me. Moonraker I thought was a bit silly. The Living Daylights was he was too old for The Living Daylights. But have I got this right? There'll be Bond experts that know this. He wasn't supposed to do The Living Daylights. It was supposed to be Pierce Brosnan that was going to do The Living Daylights. But then right at the last minute, Pierce Brosnan was playing Remington Steele, and Remington Steele people said, no, you can't have him. He can't do Bond. So they had to get Roger Moore to do it. And then they got Timothy Dalton to do those awful, awful films that are unwatchable. And then Pierce Brosnan came out of his Remington Steele contract. Have I got that right? I think I've got that right. Kath's saying no. Would you get on the screen? View to a Kill.
Living Daylights with Dalton.
View to a Kill, it was supposed to be Brosnan. View to a Kill was supposed to be Brosnan. But he was tied in the contract, so Moore did it. And then they got Timothy Dalton to do those awful, awful films. I mean, he really was an absolute stinker of a Bond. I quite like Pierce Brosnan. I only saw GoldenEye about 4 years ago because I didn't like his hair. It was very 90s Brosnan. And the 70s and the 80s looked kind of cool retrospectively. The 90s never, it was all very soft focus. Anyway, I've been whittering on about James Bond to hide the fact that we have no telephone calls. Well, up yours, Delors. What am I? What a scorcher. Call in. We have another hour to go, dear listener. Plenty to talk about. Rumours about your family. Family gossip, rumours about teachers, so the sexiest album covers, and earworms. There are just a handful of the topics that I'm throwing out like a farmer ploughing the field and then scattering my seed all over you like that. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. So many ways you can listen. You can listen on DAB. You can listen using the Talk Radio app. There are other radio apps, Radio Player and TuneIn, or of course you can listen on www.talkradio.co.uk. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Lots and lots to talk about, or maybe there's nothing to talk about. I just don't know anymore.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with fire up. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine, I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone past with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances. I die for living in the movies and TV. But the hardest thing I ever do is watch my leading ladies kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I might fall from a tall building, I might roll a brand new car, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star. I've never spent much time in school, but I taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, hey, I've gotten burned over Cheryl Teague's, blown up for Raquel Welch. But when I wind up in the hay, it's only hay. Hey, hey, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine. Oh, yeah.
Shut up.
Boyley joins me in the studio. If you are watching online, you can't see her because I've obscured her face by a microphone. A microphone is in the way of her moon face.
Wow.
Oh, well, it's not my fault. You should speak to your mother. 0344. Why are you not playing? Hang on a minute. Whoa! There we go. Next on Virgin, it's Herb Alpert. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Let's quickly go through the topics we've got so far.
Getting drunk with teachers. Family secrets.
No, hang on a minute. You're just making stuff up. We've been teasing the getting drunk with teachers, but we've not done that one yet.
I'm launching it for this hour.
Oh, really? You want to spaff away a good topic like that?
Well.
Okay, go.
Getting drunk with teachers.
Okay.
Your family secrets.
Well, don't. But here's the thing, and I've got certificates to prove this. If you're gonna introduce a new topic, you can't just say the shorthand version. You've got to set it up.
Getting drunk with teachers. Drinking to excess with people who have certificates for education.
It's not even that. Here's the thing, right? We've all been out as 15, 16-year-old students, 17-year-old students, and had beers with teachers.
No.
I've been... I remember Mr... he might still be teaching, so I won't mention his name. But a famous teacher at my school who would wear sandals and socks. We went out to see a play or something with him. Me and a couple of other lads who were in the sixth form, and he bought us pints of bitter.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
I never drank with teachers. I never went to the pub until I was nearly legal to do so.
Oh, I went when I was 15. We used to go to the boozer because I was tall, and there was a pub in Slough, a cracking pub in Slough that served kids. Well, although the kids were quite expensive. What I mean by when I say they serve kids, I don't mean you could go in and go, I'd like a couple of children, please. I meant if you went in as a child and asked for alcohol, they would give it to you for money.
We had a pub like that too. It was called the Old Sun.
Well, it should have been called...
Ironically.
It should have been called the Young Sun.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah, there was... And you get sometimes... Here was the thing. Was it the end of the fifth form? It was the end of the fifth form. So how old are you then? 20? No. 15? 16? And it was tradition to go out after school straight after school, so with bottles of wine. Bottles of wine and get absolutely hammered.
Wine.
What? I mean, I don't...
It was 2 Dogs 2020 when I was a...
Don't be so hard on yourself, Catherine.
We weren't on wine.
Well, I smuggled a bottle of Jack Daniels into school twice. Oh.
Well, I remember...
We don't encourage or condone this, by the way.
No, this is bad, but it happened. There was a scandal in my middle school.
Yeah, go on.
When someone, I know exactly who it was, Emma, brought in a bottle of cola, but it wasn't cola. It was sherry.
Hey! Beautiful!
And I was one of the only ones who didn't have a taste.
I've never had sherry. Sweet, isn't it?
Mm.
It's an old lady's drink. You have a tiny little...
I had it later on in life when I was head girl.
Yeah.
Because the headmaster used to have sherry parties for people who was trying to impress.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
So me and the head boy used to be given the job of tidying up afterwards, and we used to drink it all.
Bit of minesweeping.
Yeah.
Never had sherry. I don't think I've ever had rum. I didn't really like spirits. I liked Jack Daniels, but I liked it slathered in Coke so you couldn't taste it, but I liked it because it got you hammered. I loved vodka, actually. I did like vodka. Vodka and orange. Whoa, I could knock those back like there was no... Whoa, vodka, go on, whack it up. Right, let's have it.
Archers and lemonade.
Hey.
Moscow mules. Blue wickets.
Those weren't invented when I was drinking.
I was banned from having those by a boyfriend because it made me very sweary.
They weren't invented when I was a young man. And by the time I was a grown man, it was beer. I remember being 16, 17, and this was a thing. It was called a submarine. So you buy a pint of bitter. It was bitter. We used to drink bitter.
You drop a glass in it.
Well, so you wouldn't drop it in. You just buy a double of whiskey and pour it in. You've never had such a disgusting drink in your life. A pint of bitter with 2 shots of scotch in it. What the flipping heck is that about?
We thought we'd invented booze, didn't we?
Yeah. Those really were wonderful days.
Murky days.
Wonderful.
I was sick in sinks a lot back then.
Oh, I was very rarely was I sick in a sink. I was always brought up to and I've got a great reflex mechanism that will allow me to hold it until I just get to the toilet. And I don't know how that works, but I always just get to the toilet. It's fantastic.
Did you ever fall asleep in there? I did.
Occasionally. The first time I got, because I didn't used to get hangovers as a kid. We don't encourage this or condone this, by the way.
No,
this is
just
what we
idea.
happen. It's what we happen, but people do it. The first time I ever had a really bad hangover was, I must have been 17, because I got driven home by a friend. And, that was it. Thunderbird.
Yes.
Thunderbird.
Strong cider.
There was a party at Adele's house, and Kerry was going to be there, and I was in love with Kerry. Maybe I was 15. Anyway, don't matter. And so I drank this whole bottle of Thunderbird. And I have no recollection of the night at all. I was 16, my first alcoholic blackout. Jesus, if you think this sounds glamorous, guys. But apparently I went to the offie to buy a half bottle of vodka.
On top of that?
Yeah.
Flipping, eh?
I don't remember it. Apparently, at some point, I was being chased all around the estate by people because I went a bit nuts. And they didn't believe I was drunk. And so I was going, well, jump on me. I don't remember this.
That's the test, is it?
Jump on me. And I've got a chip in that tooth there.
Uh-huh.
Because they chipped it, because someone jumped on me and I chipped my tooth. I don't remember that. But all I remember was finishing this bottle of Thunderbird and seeing Kerry and thinking, whoa. The next thing I remember is being sick in the toilet and my mum saying, you are never going out again. Then the next thing I remember is waking up in a pool of sick. And having my first alcoholic blackout at the age of 16 or 17. And it was not the last.
Crazy, crazy days.
It was not the last. This is going to be interesting. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Ian.
Good evening, Chris.
Hi.
Hello there.
You were talking about some nice album covers.
So I was talking about nice album covers, yes.
Yes. Right. You might not like this one, actually. One of my nicest ones was Supertramp, Crime of the Century.
What? Can you describe the cover to us?
Oh, come on. You must know that.
No, I don't know it. Hang on, you're blind.
That's all it is. It's like... It's just like,
I tell you what, I'll Google it, because the idea...
Come on.
What? Crime of the Century.
It's a black album, and it's got, like, how do I describe it? And
it's in space. It's like the opening titles to Sapphire and Steel. It's set in space, but there's prison bars, and you can see hands reaching through the prison bars.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, isn't that simple?
Something is in this conversation. I mean, you're very welcome. It was. The thing was sexy album covers.
Yes.
But we can, and that is not very sexy unless you find two hands in space prison horny, which some people might do.
Right. I was trying to think of...
it's like Zod, General Zod, isn't it, when he gets put in that sheet of glass in Superman?
I was trying to think of an album. I think it was... it wasn't... Bachman Turner Overdrive.
You ain't seen nothing yet? Well, you. Unfortunate choice of words.
It was one with, like, a flyover, and I can't remember the name.
And that gets you horny, does it?
Pardon?
And that was a good cover, was it?
Well, I think so, because sometimes why does it have to be a beautiful woman with a
go on
whatever out?
Yeah. Oh, well, for it to be sexy, but you think a flyover, an erection gives you an erection, does it? That was clever. That was actually quite clever, wasn't it? No. Schoolboy.
Bloody hell! Well, you didn't say about that. You didn't.
I did.
I didn't say about sex.
I did. I've written it down. Sexiest album covers, and I did. Sorry. I definitely said that, and I definitely didn't say nice album covers.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No need to apologise. It's good to hear from you. Not heard from you for a few months. Where you been?
I just
getting robbed.
Like nice album covers like you used to have when you was kids.
Yeah.
Rather than
All Aboard.
Yeah, I like that one.
All Aboard.
What do you mean?
All Aboard.
I don't understand.
All Aboard. Nice album covers when you were kids. All Aboard.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, it was a nice album cover when I was a kid.
All Aboard.
Which one was that then?
It was All Aboard.
I don't know that one.
No, that's okay.
That's nice.
No,
Right.
And notice when you don't recognise an album cover, I don't belittle you or harangue you for being stupid.
What?
Where have you been the last few months, Chris?
Pardon?
Yeah. Where have you been the last few months, Chris?
I've still been listening. Just because I don't ring it up, it doesn't mean I don't listen.
No. The question. No, don't worry. The question was.
I still hear you shouting.
Yeah. The question.
All the time.
Okay. You've not answered the question. The question was, where have you been the last few months?
None of your business.
Okay. Have you been inside? Or out?
No. Oi.
Did you get kicked out of your house?
That was a terrible thing to say.
It was awful, but I've said a lot worse in this conversation that you've not heard.
See, when I've been... You would have seen when I've been in jail?
Yes.
No, I bloody not.
Okay, well... Have you been robbed again? 'Cause you used to get robbed quite a bit, didn't you?
Pardon?
Have you been robbed again? It's not a trick question. There is a definite answer to it.
I've been... No, I got arrested. Actually.
What for? So my first one wasn't that far off. What would you get arrested for?
I don't know.
Fighting?
You were talking about when kids were in school.
Yeah. Well, again, you've got very vague grips on the topics, but let's see where this goes.
No,
it's not what you were arrested for.
I don't want to tell you about.
Yes.
I don't want to tell you about that.
Okay. Well, no, it's fine. No, it's none of my business. Was it fighting?
No, not at all.
Was it violence?
No.
Okay, great.
No, I'm not a violent person, I'll have you know.
No.
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 I can be obnoxious.
Yes, very. Were you arrested for obnoxiosity?
I almost swore then. Shut up.
Gosh, that wouldn't be a first. Okay.
I broke something.
The law.
Yes.
Well, don't do it. It's very, very
Shut up.
naughty. Yeah, shut up, Kath.
You shut up.
He's right. I'm on Chris's side. Shut up.
Everyone, shut up.
No, don't, Chris, tell her to shut up.
No, because I
just did.
I like listening to your show.
Okay. You can still tell her to shut up and listen.
If you came down to this way,
Port Talbot,
Wales, I'd go and watch your show.
Okay, Port Talbot. Well,
I would.
Yeah, okay. Why do they say? Why do they call it Port Talbot?
Don't give my address away, please.
No, yeah, but why do they call it Port Talbot and not Port Talbot? There's one word, isn't it? Port Talbot. Port Albert is what you're saying instead of Port Talbot. Port Talbot.
Oh, stop being pedantic now.
No,
yes, you are.
Well, you don't know what pedantic means. Anyway, go on, Chris. What you got?
Yes, I don't assume that I'm not intelligent.
Okay, no. 0344 499 1000. Which one out of all of us here is going to be on Radio 4 on the 30th of May? Oh, it's this guy here. Thank you very much indeed.
The wild man of late night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
We're just saying to Kath, we're doing the show from New York from Monday, June the 12th. Mm-hmm. Through to the Friday of that week. And we've got some brilliant stuff lined up. Stephen Page, we can officially say now, is going to be on the show. He's playing a gig on the Thursday night at the City Winery. We're his guests of honour at that gig. Imagine that. Imagine that. And I've been in touch with the City Winery to see if we can do the show from there. We might not be able to, but we're sort of seeing. He said, well, it's going to be quite noisy there. I said, don't matter. Anyway, so we're doing the show. We've got Stephen Page, Imani Coppola, John Ronson, Richard Bacon, Steve Guttenberg, all kinds of people. And we're also, while we're there, we're going to be doing The Rabbit Hole, which is this separate podcast that we do. And I've hired a tiny venue. It's like a rehearsal studio, okay? So we'll get there at Thursday morning and we'll set up the microphones and stuff like that. And then we'll let people in. It holds 25 people. We've sold 2 tickets. And I'm not saying that as we've only sold 2 tickets. I didn't think we'd sell any. I'd written off the money for the hire, and I thought we could do it, and we'll stream it on Periscope. And I thought, it'll be funny, we'll do it, and it'll be us in an empty room.
Yeah.
And we'll do the show, and that'll be funny. We got 2 people coming.
That's a show.
And we've got a couple of weeks, so we still might sell a couple more. We got 2 people. There are 2 people in New York who want to pay $20 a piece to come and see us. I find that incredible, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I find that absolutely incredible. Thank you, those people. And if you want to know about any of the live shows that we're doing, you can follow me on Twitter at Iain Lee, facebook.com/Iain Lee, or if you send me an email, ian@iainlee.com, I'll send you all the details of where I'm playing, because some different places to get tickets, and we can sort all that out. Back to tonight's show. The last 40 minutes of the show, then it's the 2 mics at 1 o'clock. 0344 499 1000. So you were telling us the topics, Catherine.
The topics are, when have you got drunk with one of your teachers?
And we've set that up now, so we don't need to go into any more detail and we can move on.
I've been drunk with a teacher, but not one of my own teachers, just a teacher. Does that count? I
had a wonderful, wonderful day today. It was my 7-year-old's concert at school. And I was with him last night, and I said, what are you going to play at the concert? And he played it, and he couldn't do it. On
the piano?
Yeah, on the piano. Couldn't do the middle thing, and I was getting really worried, thinking, he's not going to. And I was thinking maybe we should do something different. I said, no, that's okay. Right, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to practice it. Now, I can't really help him because I can't read music. I used to be able to, and I can't. But there was a little chart in the book so I could work out the notes, and he got the first note wrong, and so that was knackering everything else. We got the first note, and so then he got that bit. Then there's a really little fiddly bit in the middle, and he couldn't do it. And I said, I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to break it down into 2 sections. Just get the first bit. And I worked out what the notes were, and I showed him the notes. I said, I don't know where the right fingers are, so you know where the right finger. And so we worked out this first thing, and he got it. And I said, right, we're going to do it. And we just kept doing it over and over again. Then we got the second bit. I said, right, put them together. Let's see what it sounds like. Got it. Boom. Got it. And what was nice is he did it, and he did it again. He said, I'm going to get Mummy. I said, no, let's do it again. It's only a short little piece, and he played the whole thing. I said, no, we're going to do it 2 more times, then you can get your mum in and do it. And he did, and he got his mum in, and she loved it, and then we were there today, and he did his thing, and he flew through that bit that he'd had trouble with. You could see him kind of getting tense. And I gave him the best advice I've given him so far when it comes to performing. Because he sits at the piano. They have to stand up and go, hello, my name is, and I'm going to be playing this. And he would sit at the piano and he'd start, and quite often he'd get the wrong note. And I said, right, here's the thing. You're in control, right? When you sit at the piano, you take as long as you want. You don't worry about us, the audience. We'll worry. You take as long as you said. What, 2 hours? I said, well, that would be funny, but if it takes if it takes a minute, well, it doesn't matter. You sit there and you do not start until you're ready. Boom, and he got it. He absolutely got it, and it was a joy to watch. Then, of course, and I say this literally, a young Asian lad got up, and all the other kids are kind of doing one-fingered things. My one was doing. He had a couple of chords in there, which was really cool. And then this young Asian lad got up. It was like playing like a jazz thing. It was. It was brilliant to see. Absolutely inspiring to see. But it was lovely.
Yeah.
And me and all the teachers were hammered. Other topics that we've got, please, Catherine.
Family secrets.
Yes.
Family rumours, not even secrets.
Family gossip. Family gossip, guys. 03444991000.
Do you want me to give you an example?
Yeah.
My granddad and his siblings, there is a huge age gap between them.
Uh-oh.
And according to my mum,
yes,
the rumour is...
There we go.
...that my great-granddad got my great-grandma pregnant.
Yes.
Refused to marry her.
Ooh.
And as a result got put in prison.
Hey, wow.
Because in the old days, there used to be something called breach of promise. You could get put away for it.
Really?
Yeah, so he got put in prison until he agreed to marry her.
Flipping heck, that's incredible.
Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
We found out that my nan put up for adoption, I think 2 children.
Wow.
Before my sister's got my mum's got 2 sisters. My mum's the eldest, but before she I think she had 2. Was it 3? I think it was 2. And we only found this out about 15, 20 years ago, something like that. And one of them, I met one of them. Didn't get on with her.
Oh.
Because it was all a bit... Okay, you're going to call me Auntie. Let's say her name was Susan. Was Susan. You're going to call me Auntie Susan. I said, whoa.
You just met this woman.
I've literally just met you at wedding. Happy to call you Susan. Really nice to meet you. Because here's the thing, my mum didn't want anything to do with them. My mum felt, because she was the eldest, that suddenly she wasn't the eldest. And she took it as a real... Whereas my aunts... were really cool with it, and they wanted to embrace them and bring them into family, and that's absolutely cool. Of course it is. My mum was really reticent and was like, she was like, this is Nan's secret, and we shouldn't know this.
Right.
We're not meant to know this.
Well, also, your mum thought she was the first one.
Yeah.
So everything she thought about her parents being together wasn't true.
Yeah. And so
not everything, but
I was being
a big part of it.
very protective of mum. Okay, very protective of mum. And so this one said, you're going to call me Auntie Susan? I said, well, do you know what? I'm not going to. First of all, she started off with, I've seen you on the telly. I know you on the telly. I can't believe it. All of this. And I said, okay. And I said, well, look, no thanks. I'm going to call you Susan, and let's just see where this goes.
Yeah.
You know. And so when I sat next to her at a wedding, and I was a vegetarian, and I forgot to say that I was a vegetarian, so I got a meat meal, and I said, it's okay. I thought I'd ordered a vegetarian, but it's fine. I'll eat around this. She goes, no. We'll sort this out. Can you make him an omelette? I said, no, honestly, seriously, this is absolutely, honestly, I'm fine. Don't you dare. Can we get him an omelette? And it was turning into a scene, and I was going, look, I really don't want you to do this.
Oh, but you know what it is? I know what this is. I know what this is completely.
And she's a delightful, I'm sure she's an absolutely delightful woman, but I was protecting my mum. I had to protect my mum.
I have a friend who has not had anything to do with his father for a long time.
Yes.
And because his parents split up and it was acrimonious.
Yeah.
And Mum said one thing, Dad said another. We still don't really know what the truth is.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah,
but he obviously, we grew up with his mum, so believed his mum.
Yeah.
His dad came back into his life recently and straight away wanted to offload everything. I desperately wanted to meet his children, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And my friend wasn't ready for that. The thing is, his dad has been waiting for that moment for years and years and years and planning it and having all these fantasies about what he will do and how he's going to patch everything up together. So he's ready for that. But the boy isn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
they're at different
I kind
stages.
of get where your auntie comes from, is that she wanted to take charge and show you that she was going to look after you.
Yeah. And now I don't speak to anyone in my family on either side. Literally, I don't speak to anyone in my family. Just let that sink in. Let's go to a break.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Sexy album covers. Who was it? Oh, Steve. Velveteen by Transvision Vamp. Yes. Good evening, Sally.
Hello.
Hello, Sally.
Hello. How are you?
Sally. I'm good, thanks, Sally. You're all right. What you got for us?
First time I got drunk with a teacher, I was just 15. That was after a award ceremony at school.
Now, when you say you got drunk with them, you make it sound like you went to the staff room with them. Was it down the boozer?
Yeah, we were walking home together and we ended up in the corner house.
Just you and teacher?
And some other mates of mine.
Okay, all right, because just being you and a teacher, that sounds a little bit suspicious. And did it ever get... Because once you've had a few drinks with a teacher, it's weird then the next day to go back to the traditional teacher-pupil relationship, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it wasn't really.
Oh,
it wasn't really, no.
It was never mentioned again?
Sally, you're not the person who rang us up last week and said that you'd seen the brawl with the teachers.
Yeah.
Right.
There
okay.
we go.
She's got 4.
There you go.
It wasn't one of those teachers, was it?
Yeah, it was.
There we go. I think you're the inspiration for this topic.
I am.
Yeah, you're the inspiration for this topic. It's called It's called doing a Sally.
Sozzled with Sally.
Getting drunk with a teacher.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Earworms.
Earworms. Yeah, go on.
I've had Rock the Casbah in my head all night. And the reason I've got that in my head is it's my walking song.
Oh.
Yeah.
I only have it in my head when I'm walking, and my right foot has to go on the ground when rock is in my head.
I've used that one.
Here we
it's
go.
a good one.
Which foot is number 1 and which foot is number 2? It's a good question. Do you know what I mean? When you're walking, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Right, yeah.
No, left is 1. And I know it's left, right. Well, it's left, right, left, right. So for me, it's...
No, I go right, left, don't you, Sally?
No.
Which,
Must be a girl thing.
So you're saying right and right. Which arm is number 1 and which arm is number 2?
What, when you're walking?
Just in life.
Well, not like King Rollo. It'll have to be the opposite, won't it?
No. Not when walking. Just in life. Right. Yours,
right.
But my left leg is my number 1 leg.
Oh, you're weird.
No, I'm not weird.
Yeah.
I'm not weird at all. This is all makes perfect sense to me. Maybe just to me. I don't know. That's disappointing. I was going somewhere with that, and it was going to be somewhere brilliant and insightful, but I can't think.
Walking songs.
No, she said walking song. And I said no, and then we went... I don't know. I just don't know, Sally. I just don't know anymore. I'm trying to find instrumental Transvision Vamp.
Shouty songs, who?
Yeah, go on.
Sabotage by Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boy. I never got the Beastie Boys. I think they're incredibly overrated. Terrible band.
I do, but I love that one.
Well, I like the video for that. That's where they're the spies in the 70s.
Yeah.
Here we go. But you can't have nothing. Well, you can say that you wanna meet me, but you can't have my loving, baby.
That's not the words.
And I can touch myself, and then you're gonna do all your drumming, baby.
What?
But you don't have to say you love me, and you don't have to say you care, and you don't have to say you love, baby, it's alright, 'cause baby... I nearly got, I got molested at a Transvision Vamp concert.
Did you, by?
Yeah, by a dirty old man.
Oh, dear.
A dirty old man. I'll tell you after this second. Right, 'cause baby, I don't care. Oh, honey, I don't care. Oh, baby, please believe me. Yeah, me and Malcolm went to see Transvision Vamp at Brixton Academy, I want to say. say. Maybe it was at Hammersmith. I don't know. We were upstairs. He lost his digital watch, and it was the night of a tube strike. So trains were limited, and we got to a tube station and underground, and we were both drunk. We were 15, both drunk, and we got a bit lippy with this bloke and his mate. And then this bloke and his mate started talking about how ABBA had got famous by making a video with a pig. And we're going, all right, mate, whatever. And he said, you boys would be great in a film. I've got. Why don't you come back to my place and I'll film you having sex? And we went, God. Whoa, nut job. And he kept going, and in the end, me and Malcolm got absolutely terrified. And we just went, please don't talk to us anymore. Please don't talk to us. The tube came. We jumped on. He jumped on our thing. We jumped off. We ran down to the next carriage. It was in the days when you could open the doors of the tube and walk through. And he came up to me, and we were stood there, and I was so terrified. And he came, and he touched me up. He touched me up on the tube, and he said, he whispered in my ear, I'm so sorry. I remember, it was horrible, absolutely horrible. I'm making light of it. It was horrible. So he's touching me up on the tube, and he said, I'm so sorry for ever so sensuously just touching you down there. And I said really loudly, get your effing hands off me. Do not touch me, otherwise I will... No, I didn't say I was going to say, do not touch me again. And we were obviously lads. I mean, we're tall. We maybe look 17. And do you know what happened? He carried on touching me, and literally nobody stepped... Oh, sorry, Sally. I bored Sally with that story. Or maybe she knows the number of that guy. And literally nobody stepped in to help me. So we had to jump off. We jumped off at the next station, and he didn't jump off, and there were no more tubes, and we had to get a cab, and it was awful.
That's horrible.
That was awful. 15 I was, maybe 16. Awful. Dirty old man touching me up on a train. I was so sorry for sensuously touching you down. Oh, you dirty git. Unbelievable.
He was enjoying making you frightened as well.
Yeah, it was horrible. Horrible. On that bombshell, let's go to Elliot. Good evening, Elliot.
Hello, you're all right.
I'm all right, thank you, Elliot. Apart from revealing that childhood trauma, what have you got for us, Elliot?
Getting drunk with your teacher.
Here we go. What you got for us?
Well, I got two. The first one, the economics trip in Barcelona.
An economics trip in Barcelona. What were you? How do you study economics in España?
Well, with great difficulty, because we didn't end up doing any at all. It just sort of turned into a bit of a holiday.
Of course it did, mate. Of course it did.
But we were all going out for a few drinks. I'm not sure. We weren't 18.
Yes.
But anyway, the teacher gets in the bar, and he just says, they're all university students, all fine, serve them all. So we all got served. He proceeded to get absolutely hammered, and then was dancing down Barcelona back streets, singing to Beyonce's Put a Ring on It.
Flipping heck, so was this the time... Well, there could have been camera phones then if you're singing Put a Ring on It.
Yeah, I think there might have been footage of it. I could go on the rabbit hole if it turns out.
I mean, I don't know if I want to say that. I've got a wonderful, wonderful picture of me, 17 on a school trip. And again, I've got to say, because we'll get told off, we're not encouraging kids to drink, we're not condoning kids drinking. These are our experiences that actually happened, and I think I've made my drinking experiences sound most unglamorous, and we're not encouraging it. It happens, all right? But wonderful picture of me at the Science Museum with a beautiful Buzz Brew in there. I mean, and I've got wonderful sideburns, but here's the thing, kids, don't drink, because it really is a waste of money. It's a waste of money, isn't it, Elliot?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be fun.
Well,
depends. You know, have you got a walking song? Because someone's just telling me, Graham on Twitter is saying, Lush Sally. Oh, Lush as in the Lush.
A what? A walking song?
A walking song. A song that you walk to in your head.
No, I don't think so.
Thanks very much for calling, Elliot. We end that call there.
Rock the Casbah is one of mine.
Really?
Seriously, yeah. It's very
that was what I was going to say. I knew there was a point to it. Isn't it funny that Staying Alive by the Bee Gees is the exact tempo for when you're giving CPR, when you're doing the chest thing?
Yeah.
Because there was a thing in the paper the other day that they kind of let sort of, not St John's Ambulance and groups like that, first aid groups, use it without any copyright infringement to teach the Isn't that funny that's the exact... I wonder if the Bee Gees, because they are evil genii, I wonder if they knew what voodoo they were creating. They not only have they got a song called "Staying Alive," but it's also that song gives the gift of life.
Yeah.
They must have known. Barry Gibb must have known that, mustn't he? Or the others were always a little bit weird, weren't they? They're all a bit weird. The Bee Gees. I've never quite. The only Bee Gees song I like. I tell you, I like some of the early stuff. I've just got to get a message to you. That's a great song. I Started a Joke. Words is a great song. That weird one about the
mining disaster.
Yeah, that's weird. And I don't like any of the other stuff. Except you go right to the end. You win again. So little time.
You're missing out. Guilty with Barbara Streisand.
I don't like any of that stuff.
Brilliant.
No, rubbish. Absolute. Rubbish. It go from the really early stuff straight up to You Win Again. Boom, that's it. The rest of it, I'm not bothered. Honestly, I couldn't give a monkeys. 0344 499 1000. Another 17 minutes of this show left, dear listener. Dare you call?
Late night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
The last gasp of the show, dear listener. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We have been serenaded throughout the whole show by Mr. Herb Alpert. Why is he not playing now? What's going on? There we go. Oh. Getting funky. That is a fat bass and a limp synth. I missed the keytar. I wish they'd bring back the keytar.
What was the one that was like you blew it and it had the piano keys on it?
Yeah, well, there were two. There was the one that was just like you blew it and it like a recorder. Yeah, there was that, which is rubbish. But then there was one that was kind of like a sort of vocoder that would make it sound like a bomb. There was the thing that was vocoder the thing that the Bon Jovi guitarist using. That's him singing that through his guitar.
Is it?
Yeah, because you put a thing in your mouth.
A hose pipe.
Yeah, and then you play the guitar and it goes, and you control it with your mouth. I think that's it. I was never a Bon Jovi fan, but Living on a Prayer is a great song.
It starts with a triangle, that song, doesn't it?
Ping. Yeah, we just played that clip there from it. 0344 499 1000. You were giving a rundown of the topics. You didn't get very far.
Getting drunk with teachers.
Yes.
When you're a kid.
Yes.
Not clever.
No.
But it happens.
Yes.
Call me now.
Yeah.
0344.
Yeah. Just do the rest. We know the number. Just give us the topics.
Family secrets and rumours.
Oh, no one's going to call in. Here we go. This is the story.
I can't remember the other ones. What are the other ones?
This is the story of the day. This is the story of the day, dear listeners. We saved the best till last. Nothing's ever gonna put me down. Transplant gives... Good news. Transplant gives man a new willy. Bad news, it's the wrong colour. A black man has been given a new penis, but it's white. The 40-year-old who lost his after a botched circumcision...
Oh, my...
Oh,
what were they doing it with, a knife and fork?
Well, in some countries, they do it with a chainsaw.
Oi.
We'll need it tattooed to change its colour.
Hasn't he suffered enough?
I would just put Tipex on it. Surgeon Professor Andre van der Meer said the patient only...
Were there no spare black ones?
I don't know. Maybe.
Really? I mean, are they that hard to find?
Only the third person to have the op is doing remarkably well. But the South African urologist added, "I want to go on the slide. He is black, and the donor was white. That's the only issue. We have very few donors. The colour discrepancy will be corrected with medical tattooing. But I can't do it now, as I want to go on the slide." During the 9.5-hour op in Cape Town, the entire donor organ was dissected.
I haven't even got one, and that hurts.
And its blood vessels and nerves were connected to the recipients. In 6 months, he'll be able to have sex. Well, how do they know that? He's got to find a lady first. Or a gentleman. I've got nothing against that. Absolutely nothing. Not my cup of tea. Wouldn't go there myself for many reasons. But none of them religious or social, purely practical. There's no way I'm putting that in my mouth or around there. I'm just not doing it.
What about in 6 months?
I'd consider it. And he'll be able to stand to urinate for the first time in 17 years. It's a faff, that, mate. It is an absolute faff. Keep sitting down. Keep sitting down.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Sit down to wee. Definitely.
Don't you get it wet?
Sorry? No.
Okay, depends how high the water is, I guess.
But doesn't that... When you just sit down for a poo? Your ball and willy don't sit in the water.
I don't possess balls or willy, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. No! They're having a great time in this session, aren't they?
In America, the toilet level is high, isn't it?
Play the slide bass. I nearly swore
Are you
then.
deliberately avoiding my question?
James Max is listening.
Hi, James.
He'll be stealing all this for his show. The professor did the world's first willy swap in 2014. He said, I want to have a go on the slab, my lady. All seems to be healing. The penis is working well. He can get erections already. He is certainly one of the happiest patients we have seen. The man had relationships, but when sex arose, he bailed out. He had been suffering with depression and was suicidal. Experts say up to 250 partial and total penile amputations a year occur in South Africa due to complications in ritual ceremonies. Here's the thing, guys. I'm never going to South Africa to get involved in a ritual ceremony, because
Not one involving willies, no.
Apparently complications arise. So, I'm all right, thanks. I'm all right. And isn't it great that something that has traumatised this man and driven him to the brink of suicide can bring us a laugh on this part of the country? Absolutely great news there. Thanks very much indeed. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I mean, all the papers are, of course, reflecting on Manchester, and I just felt that we didn't need to go there. This show is going to be an oasis from all of the horrors of the world that are going on. So, but that's all the papers have got. Willy transplants and that. And so I'm struggling to find stories. I didn't think we'd need to use the story. So when you hear this, you'll understand why. Why flamingos use just one leg. I don't think I've ever seen a flamingo in real life.
Haven't you? You've not been to a zoo?
I don't like... No, I refuse to go to zoos now. I don't go to zoos anymore. I think they're disgusting places. What have we got zoos for in 2017? I don't go to zoos. The last zoo I went to was about 10 years ago, and it was horrible. And we were there, and it was... We were up in the Cotswolds, maybe, or something. We went to a zoo, and there was a monkey in a cage. And we were laughing at it, enjoying it, and it was copying us. And then I thought, that cage is tiny. And it was horrible. And actually I went, this is horrible. And we were miles and miles away. It was about 3.5 hour drive, 4 hour drive. I said, I know a place in Dorset called Monkey World. The best place. I said, so it's about 4 hours. Should we go there? And we did. We drove there and stayed in Dorset and went to Monkey World. It's the best place in the world because they go and rescue monkeys that are in Spain, that are being used for photographs and or they've been done for, with smoking and stuff like that. And most of them have got these huge open expanses to run about in, and they play games with them and they give them like puzzles to solve, so they're all challenged and stimulated.
They've got their own reality TV show that kids are obsessed with.
But they had that for a while. The guy that used to run it, and I saw him there a few times, a guy I think called Jim.
Yeah, he died.
He died. And
but the keeper's there, the keeper that's raised loads of them by hand, and they adore him, the monkeys, don't they?
Oh, it's the best place, and it's the best programme in the world. But I've not been to a zoo since. I refuse to go to them because I think they're awful. And also, aviaries?
Yes.
I refuse to go to an aviary.
Like
That's horrible. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see an owl in a tiny cage. I don't want to see some parrots in a tiny cage. I want to see birds flying. I think it's awful. Awful.
Well, this is the thing, and this brings me on to a conversation we've been having at home. The girls want a rabbit or a guinea pig, and I said, I don't like the idea of having an animal you've got to keep in a box.
Oh, but they're stupid.
I know, but still an animal in a box at the end of your garden, isn't it?
Sorry?
And they're cute and that, but...
Well, the thing about guinea pigs, you can put them in balls and kick them around.
What? That's hamsters, isn't it? No, you don't do that with hamsters either.
Okay, if that's what you think I need to say. to save this job that's already rapidly slipping out between my fingers. No, I don't agree with zoos, and I think that they should be closed and all the animals should be put down.
Oh.
It would be cheaper to put them down, and we just don't get any more, I think. Shoot them, or just flood the zoos with, like a gas or something to kill them. It'll be cheaper. You release them in the wild. You've seen that thing when they release monkeys in the wild, and then they get eaten. You got an electronic tag on it, and they get eaten. They get sexually abused and eaten.
By what?
By monkeys, hippos, crocodiles, all of it. They smell weakness, animals. So they got this monkey that's been living the high life in the city. Turns up with a bowler hat and a cane, and they get in there, they tear it apart using every orifice, then they eat its brains. Out! It's disgusting.
Wow, I haven't seen
I wouldn't do that to an animal.
No.
I wouldn't do that to an animal. I would let...
that's what happened back in the 1970s, that they released all the exotic pets, and that's why Luke keeps seeing that puma.
But also, the zoos are Victorian. London Zoo is a Victorian thing. This is why it's tiny. And
it's the Rothschilds, isn't it?
Sure, why not? And it's a Victorian invention. We don't need it. I can see any animal I want. I can see anything I want. I mean, literally anything on my phone. So if the kids go and see what a zebra looks like. No, I'd see what we'll do. We'll look at it on my phone. There's a zebra. Look at that. I mean, admittedly, it's a film of a zebra. It's a webcam of them in a zoo. But it's not... I'm not contributing to it financially. I'm not contributing to that animal's welfare financially. So I feel good about it. Anyway.
Okay, that's zoo sorted.
So I've never seen a flamingo. They make standing on one leg easy. Look easy. Even falling asleep that way. It's a fun story, this. I've not read it. It could end up with... But there's like a sex virus that's going to wipe out all flamingos in 3 months. But don't be too impressed. Because so now it's slagging off flamingos. Don't be impressed by it. Look, they make it look easy, but actually they're bastards. But don't be too impressed.
Does it say that? Is that the next line?
Don't be too impressed. Because I'm impressed. I'm really impressed by that. Well, don't be too impressed. What is that? Why is it dissing flamingos? They make stand. It's a really snidey article. It's in the Mail. You expect this to be about Muslims, immigrants. This is the tone.
You think that they would like flamingos in the Mail because they're pink and they're thin.
This is the tone they use for benefit scroungers. They make claiming benefits look easy, but don't be too impressed by Syrian refugees. They make standing on one leg look easy, even falling asleep that way. But don't be too impressed, because flamingos may be using less energy when they adopt the pose. Oh, so they're lazy, work-shy birds now.
Or they found an efficient way to conserve energy. But don't be too impressed, because I can't read books.
I like flamingos. I'm impressed. Whoa, no, don't be too impressed. It turns out actually they're lazy. Oh, really? Sod 'em then. The birds are designed to keep their limbs locked, researchers at Georgia Institute of Technology suggest. Monitoring 8 live flamingos in Chile, they found the birds swayed far less on one leg during a nap. The scientists discovered that in the right one-legged position, the animal's joints appears to remain largely fixed. This next paragraph, gosh.
Is it going to escalate?
Quite quickly, yes. They also tested dead flamingos, finding that the birds barely moved a joint when downward force was applied. Imagine that! Steve, what you got all those dead flamingos for in the lab? Oh, I'm going to push down on them. Huh? Yeah, I'm just going to push down on them, see what happens. Don't be too impressed by them lazy buggers. What? And that's it. That's the end of the thing. What a snidey article.
How can you be snide about birds?
It's about flamingos.
Don't be too impressed.
What a snide article about flamingos. Unbelievable. Well, we're kind of...
I hate them now, flamingos.
I used to be quite impressed by them, but I'm not so impressed by them now. Well, dear listener, that is the end of the show. It is time for us to go our merry way. Don't forget, we mentioned that there are loads of live shows for you to come and see. I'm doing the Glee Club on June the 4th. Last time ever I'm doing this solo show I've been doing for ages. Me and Catherine are doing The Rabbit Hole. And we are doing it in New York City. New York City on June the 15th. We've sold 2 tickets. If we sell no more, I'll be happy with that. I really will. Genuinely thrilled that 2 people in New York want to pay $20 to come and see us. We're also at Newcastle. We're playing Newcastle on July the 9th. It's an early evening show, I believe, about 5 p.m. And then on Saturday, the 29th of July, we are heading back to Manchester as part of the Manchester Fringe. It's only a tenner. I think that and the Newcastle shows are only a tenner. If you want to come, they're all tickets from different places. If you email me, Iain@iainlee.com, IAIN @iainlee.com, I will get the details to you and I'll let you know the best place to buy the tickets. We are doing 1 performance. Oh, hang on a second. Andre, the show's finished, mate.
Oh, sorry, Ian. I'll just say I'm on nights tonight.
You what?
I'm on nights.
Oh, well, I'm not, so I'll say good night.
All right, nighttime drinking.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. I mean, really. We're doing 1 show in London in September at some point at King's Place. Details to follow from me, Ed and Catherine. Ta-ta.
Election 2017 on Talk Radio.